Hello,
What joy.
hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. Last we'd left off, our party made their way to tiny little city, town of Gramsby. They had found a relatively burnt out, hollowed husk of what had been a beautiful, kind of thriving town. They had gone through the castle and kind of tried to investigate and determine what exactly might have happened, but were very much wary and on the lookout for a creature that they had spotted on their way in. Once they had arrived, um, they managed to kind of climb into the actual castle itself, found a trap with a very strange and mutilated corpse in the middle of the courtyard, and eventually were confronted by this creature that launched a fireball at them to begin a sort of combat. Thankfully, the team managed to dispatch them, even with their flying capabilities, through a very hefty hit from one Syraxis in a single round of combat, dealing nearly 100 points of damage to the lad. But you now all find yourselves kind of heavily breathing. The creature is currently, what appears to be like kneeling on the ground, one of its legs essentially blown off at the thigh, the bone and essentially a little bit of like the sinew, the only thing that's even holding it in the same place. um, its head is like slumped over, and you can see something has punctured it from above and had gone through it from below, and the entire head itself has almost like, it's exploded outwards a little bit. There's just bits of string and residue magic that's kind of like floating about in the air that's slowly dissipating. Heavy breaths all around, but as of this current moment, you manage to calm yourselves and kind of take stock of your surroundings. What would you like to do? This creature is now dead.
Well, we're in like a little courtyard type area, right?
Yeah, as of currently, you're right outside of the main kind of castle building. There's a few smaller buildings, most of them kind of burnt down and collapsed, as it seems that most of them have been made out of wood. So there's not really much point kind of going into them, but you could if you wanted to. The main castle itself, it appears to be composed of stone, and out of one of the windows in the upper floor was where this creature had smashed out of to launch its attack and assault upon all of you.
And did we? I'm pretty sure we did, but we decided to search the castle first, right, fellas?
We're here, so we might as well.
At this
Yeah.
current moment, Saros, actually, Saros, Zane, and Eclipse, you hear some low, raspy kind of voice come from the direction of this dragon creature. Zane, you hear it the most clear out of all of them. Do you speak Draconic?
No.
Then you hear a slew of words that you've heard Syraxis speak before, at the very least.
Uh, can I attempt to memorize and mimic later?
You certainly can. Give me an intelligence check.
If I hear it like saying something, can I kind of run over real
I
quick
didn't
too?
mean to do that.
Yeah, you can, Eclipse.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sure. You hear. So if you go over almost immediately, you'd be able to hear it. Let's say, you'd hear the end, like end half of it. Do you speak Draconic?
Jake, my whole thing is dragons. What do you
I'm
think
just
the answer to that
making
question
sure. I'm just making sure.
is?
Okay, so you don't speak Draconic, and no one else.
No.
No, I'm kidding. You do manage to hear the tail end of Draconic, and it is draconic, like the one that is kind of commonly used, not the other strange, almost draconic derivative that you had heard before. Or was it
Mhm.
seen? I think it was seen. It was seen. Um, but at this current moment, the all you hear is the threat dealt with. Do you have the items for the ritual? In this low, raspy kind of voice that almost reminds you ever so slightly of just like an old man that has probably smoked too many cigars.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say without any issues, you kind of peek over and you do see what appears to be like a sending stone that has fallen out of this creature's kind of like knapsack. The normal knapsack, not the bag of holding that it has on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, I mean, fuck it all. The guy's dead, so yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll pick it up for now.
Mm-hmm.
See if the guy says anything. I'm not gonna respond at all. I just want to see if the guy says anything else at all. If there's no
Yeah,
response.
with you kind of walking over, the rest of you notice it as well. And the second time that they kind of reach out seems to be much louder. Um, you hear, Kabar, report in. Do you have the fucking bones? Syraxis, there's a chill down your spine as you recognize this voice.
What was it? Was I able to catch what it was saying? Because I don't know if I
It
had
was
been
louder
alerted to
this
this at
time.
all.
Oh,
Gotcha.
absolutely. The second time was much louder, and because
And what was it saying? Because Shay was talking to me.
oh good. Basically what was said was it said, Kabar, do you have the fucking dragon bones? Is the threat
Oh,
dealt
kind of.
with?
I'll glance over and is it coming from the Dragon Boy specifically, or from like?
Coming from the
It's
sending
sending
stone that
stone
I'm
is
currently
the
holding.
Eclipse.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Eclipse is currently holding a small kind of like oblong shaped stone, and there's just a voice kind of coming from it.
I kind of like look up to him and see if he's like offering it to me or anything.
Well, I don't know you. I don't know you recognize his voice, so no.
Well, I just don't know, like, because I mean, Syraxis also doesn't, but Syraxis doesn't know if like I say something if they're gonna hear me.
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, my best skill check, something I'm renowned for. You said Arcana.
Yes, sir.
Big brain dragon. 11.
You remember something that your wife told you. Most magical items activate after you activate them. There are very few that are inherently on at all times.
Yeah, I'll kind of look
It
at.
must be a conscious thing.
Gotcha. I'll look at Eclipse here and just say, I recognize the voice.
He sounds charming.
Yeah. What did he call this guy? What was the name again?
Mark.
Kavar.
Kabar.
Kavar. I'll kind of look at Eclipse. May I?
I mean, if you got beef, go ahead. I'll just kind of like toss it over to him.
I kind of take it and think for a moment before, I'll kind of sit there and stare at it for a moment, just thinking and just saying, obviously focusing in on it to speak into it. I assume I can. I don't know if it like blows up in my hand and whatnot.
It doesn't as you activate it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I'll just say, I'm afraid Kavar can't speak right about now.
Sir Axis, isn't it? I'd recognize that fucking human fucker anywhere. Still kicking. Huh.
I'd
Which
recognize
pig are
your.
you fucking now? Stunned into silence. So easily folded. Yeah, I
What's
thought
your
you'd be
goal?
chasing me. Nothing to do with you anymore. Nothing to do with
I'm
you,
afraid
my friend.
you've allowed that ship to sail. You've directly involved me.
Oh, I see. Oh, little Sir Axis. He's a little bit scared just because someone that I know hit his city. He cares so much.
I'm the scared one, yet you're the one speaking through a magic rock.
You hide behind your fucking walls, yet I traverse the Midlands, making a name for myself, gathering to ensure they don't
Funny you should say
fucking
that.
fall below to the ranks of you. Pigs who eat and fuck the other pigs living behind the walls. Don't worry,
I don't recall hearing anything of your name aside from being a prisoner. Someone who already lost the first round.
Oh, don't worry. There'll be many, many more runs. And this time it won't be just your brother-in-law. I promise
Yeah, well, you can join the queue.
you.
You're pretty close. There are bigger threats than you, believe it or not. You're not the center of the world.
Well, I can say the same about you. Have fun with
Yeah, but
your
I'm not
little
the.
chase. You'll see me soon enough.
I hope you don't have to look far.
With that, somehow, the stone crumbles in your hand.
That was a very tense conversation, but the only thing I was thinking the entire time is that that man sounds about as sharp as a wheelbarrow.
How's Reggie looking?
Reggie is like deathly pale. You can see that he's actually like leaning against one of the weapons he has in his hands, and he like there's this look of fear in his eyes.
I think I'll just kind of walk over to Reggie and just kind of like pat him on the shoulder and just be like, "All right, sit down, kid. You'll be fine."
It was him.
Yeah.
I'm afraid so.
I thought he would. I thought he was gone. I thought he would never come back again. Why is he? Why is he?
I don't know. I thought he would have been. Well, he would have probably wandered off to the north somewhere, a place that's more suited for him. But I suppose he mentioned something of a ritual.
It's he said he was in the Midlands too. He's here. He's still here. Uncle, we have to find him.
We will. But for now, we're not in a condition to fully fight him. We've been out in the weeds, actively doing the work. He's been sending people out to do it. If we were to find him now,
sitting on his arse, trying to find creative ways to string the word pig together to sound insulting.
Yes, he's a charming fellow, ain't he?
I find it amusing that he's a dragonborn. Yes, you're the
That's
one.
not
who
Yes.
supposed to
said it.
happen. Oops.
What the fuck was that,
Was
Jake?
that public? Uh-oh.
Yes, it
Damn,
was.
that was a lot of D12.
Don't worry about it.
He just nuked another like castle. But carry on, Darcy.
No, what he's done is he's just rolled health for your friend.
Uh,
That wasn't.
Oh, yeah,
that
true.
wasn't actually his actual health.
That was at
That was just-
500
that was-
something.
that was just his first class, you know. He still
No.
has a bunch of D10s, I'm sure, have to be rolled somewhere. But what were you saying, Darcy?
Is it just because? Is it just because of fairer skin, or because dragonborn are the one with snouts?
No, I wouldn't say he's racist against non-dragonborns. He didn't like the path I took in life. He thought that, I guess still thinks, that people like us, warriors, soldiers, whatever term you want to use for it, belong out there using our strength and power to dominate, corrupt, take, destroy.
Hmm.
He also despises, how do I put this? Most mages, I'll say. His whole thing is if you didn't earn your power or your strength, well, you didn't earn it. So, needless to say, my wife is a sorceress, in case you didn't pick up on that. So I imagine he's also taken quite a bit of exception to that.
Eh. Well, he can go pound sand with his bare fists, for all I care.
But even though he was trying to find creative insults, he at least did spill the beans on why these people were here. I guess they are using those dragon bones or something nefarious.
Which means they're probably still here, at the very least, which is good.
Yes, he did seem to imply that this Carven, Raven, I don't know.
Dead man.
Yes, this dead fellow was supposed to have checked in with the items, so I'd say we probably want to look in the castle and either go back home or go to a nearby city and rest for a bit.
I can't leave the shop alone for much longer, so my vote would be that we go back. But you all take a break. You do not look well. I'll go look for the dragon bones.
Shall we
I can
check this back
go
bolting?
to.
You got. I would argue that you got hurt more than the rest of us. Sit down and take a break.
I just look
I
at him.
hesitate to say, but
Besides, there's someone else that needs a break just as much. Sort of pointing, sort of just like indicating over at Reggie, who's probably hyper fucking ventilating.
Yeah. At this current moment, you can see that he's like, Actually, I'm gonna give him a wisdom save. Let's see how.
Oh boy.
Let's see how he's doing. Ooh,
It was a mixed bag last session.
ooh, ooh.
Oh
Well,
no.
Yeah, he is currently like on the ground. You can see he's like dry heaving, and there's like tears streaming down his face.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
kind of
gonna
walk over to
try
him.
my best to help him.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll walk over and kind of like kneel down to get to his level.
Darcy will head inside the castle.
Yeah.
Are you
well,
taking this
that's-
guy's bag? Or I guess we can check it. Actually, you have your own.
Oh
Never
yeah,
mind.
actually no, yeah. I'll check the. I forgot he had a bag.
Yeah, I
I'll check-
forgot until Kay said something.
I'll check. We'll check that. We'll check that first. Maybe the bones are just in there.
That'd be great.
That would be mighty convenient.
Can I loot this guy, Jake?
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Can I check this guy's body? Because it's different from a normal humanoid.
Yes, you can. Did you want to do like a medical check, or did you want to do like a magical based check, or did you want to do, what kind of check are you trying to do?
Like magical based, compare with my own knowledge of
So something like Arcana or Nature, then for that. Zane, as you're kind of like ruffling through his clothes, what little clothes he does have, and the kind of 2 bags that he has. One you could definitely tell is very easily recognizable as what you think is a bog standard bag of holding. At the very least, it looks the exact same as any that you've seen before.
Yeah, Darcy will take that and start searching through it.
You also find the flail that he had, as well as the blackstone sword that he had. Both of which are, as far as you can tell, give me an Arcana check.
What are these rolls?
As far as you can tell, only one of them is magical, and that is the flail. The blackstone sword is not magical. But yeah,
Did he used the flail when we fought him, right?
he used
Yes.
both. He was dual handing it.
What did the flail do again? Did it, like fire? Did it light
There's
on
just
fire?
a lot of fire.
Hurt like a bitch.
It was supposed to
Oh,
hurt like a
that's
bitch, and technically,
Well, it succeeded.
yeah, it was actually supposed to hurt a lot worse because it had a increased crit range, and it did extra
you never
damage
rolled
on the
well.
crit. No, I never rolled very well. But yeah, so the Blackstone sword is essentially just a normal longsword, but it specifically has a property which is this. You guys can just take a look at read that. Read that. That's not an actual attack. He's not coming back to life.
Oh my goodness.
I would hope not. His head's exploded.
Yeah. It's essentially like a shock to the system when they're hit by this weapon. And it stuns them until the beginning of their next turn, not the end.
And that's a long sword.
And it looks like Kratos's weapons, like the Blades of Chaos, but slightly larger. But yeah, basically.
I mean, it's not magical. I mean, you could probably find a good enough craftsman to like shorten that thing down a little bit.
Yeah, you could also change it to something else if you'd so wish. It did
It's not
extra fire
impossible,
damage. Yeah, it did extra fire damage when this creature was wielding it, but you're fairly certain that was because of the creature, not because of the weapon.
Yeah.
The Flame Whip Flail is a flail that's relatively normal, but when wielded by this creature specifically, it would have had an increased crit range, and it would have dealt additional fire damage. However, for a normal person, it does not have the increased crit range, and it only deals an extra d4 of fire damage when hit.
Damn nerfed.
Yeah, but it's still a +1 weapon.
Trying to think of who could use that. I think we said Eclipse might be best to use the sword. Well,
Give it to
Uh-huh.
Reggie.
Anyone else could use either.
yeah, Reggie
I'm not
could,
sure.
and technically,
Celesta.
Celesto, yeah, could as well.
No, I'm not that type of
Oh
artificer.
right, no, that's battle.
Oh, you're not. Yeah,
Martial
okay.
weapons.
I always, for some reason, I think armor gets martial proficiency as well.
No, all armor gets is the ability to punch better in some fancy weapons.
Gotcha. Then yeah, I guess because
Armor
Saros
just gets-
doesn't have
Armor just gets to be Iron Man.
Saros doesn't have martial proficiency, do you?
It says I do.
Oh, Twilight,
oh.
Twilight Cleric.
I knew that they got heavy armor. I couldn't remember if they got martial weapons.
It does say martial under weapon proficiencies.
Well, there you go.
Oh, there you go. And then yeah, technically it could be either you or Reggie.
I don't know how much I'll be using that.
What's your strength?
My strength 13.
Okay, you know what?
Reggie
Fair
it
enough.
goes.
Reggie
Give it to
goes.
Reggie.
I think Eclipse would use it the best if he turns into a monk weapon, right? 'Cause
No, that's
Well,
the
Well,
flail.
he
I
could-
One weapon
specifically
to a monk
can't.
weapon.
Mm.
I
Well,
can't
very
do this
specifically
weapon.
the
He's already proficient in, which it is a martial weapon. So
Yeah, but I don't think I can for the flail because it's technically considered like magical and shit. I don't think
no,
my
you can. It's a weapon typing specifically.
yeah, I think it's just not.
Yeah, you're thinking of the hexblade
Maybe.
thing.
Well, see, the problem is I might not be able to use either if they're considered special weapons.
All weapons have a special property. So
Oh, so
none
it doesn't
of,
fucking matter.
So none of them are considered special for monks. Like monks are able to use all.
Okay. Okay, that
Unless
honestly, great. That
unless it's specifically, unless I say specifically, you are not able to.
okay, beautiful. So yeah, I could use it. I guess.
Well, then, do you want the stun sword or do you want the extra fire damage flail? Because like either one that you take, we could always give to Reggie. Even
So
though
the
the auto
flail-
stun is pretty neat.
So the flail is just the only thing it gets is the feint, right? And then yeah, I'm not that great at deception.
I think a +1 weapon's better than what you have, right?
I mean, no. I mean, my fists are already +1.
And here in a couple levels, all his attacks are going to be magic anyways.
Yeah. So like, I can't still take it if you want me to. You know, I mean, it'd still be good for me to take the Blaststone sword, maybe, so I can hit someone with that first, and if they fail the con save, all of the rest of my attacks are at advantage.
Yeah, I mean, both in theory are good. I think the sword would be better on you because in theory you can make, once you get extra attack, you'll be able to make double the amount of attacks that I, for example, can make.
Yeah, because because once I get extra attack, if I have the sword and they fail the save, that's one attack that's at regular, and then 3 attacks at advantage.
Yeah,
Possibly.
like even though the sword isn't going to be considered magic, I think you having the ability to actively on your turn stun someone and then make multiple attacks is better than having a static +1 and then a D4 fire damage on hit.
I mean, like I said as well, my fists are already +1.
And
So-
As
having
much-
something like that as well, you don't need to use resources for stunning strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say it, but we can always give the +1 martial weapon to Reggie.
The boy just had his sleep paralysis demon show back up. He needs a comfort toy.
Well, he's not seen Doran, has he?
No, but he knows who that is.
Heard his voice.
He's heard.
Yeah,
his
I know that he. I know that he
worse
knows of
it's
him
worse
and
that he
whatnot.
hasn't seen him. He's demonized him in his brain, so he probably looks
Yeah,
fucking
he's making him
horrible.
look like a FNAF 4 nightmare animatronics.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well we'll give Reggie boy the flail then once we've calmed him down.
funny fire bonk.
And the Blackstone sword is just a regular longsword, but just with that stuff, correct?
Yep.
Okay, let me add that to my sheet. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we should figure out where these bones are before anything else, huh?
Is
I'm
there
checking. I'm checking his bag of holding.
anything else, Jake?
I need to roll.
I'm writing it out in the chat right now.
Okay.
Bam. I'll sit there with Reggie and just maybe give him a drink, just try and calm his nerves, try and get him to not pass out from lack of oxygen.
Oh God, he's alive again. He's talking.
Oh my god.
Lots
Forgot
of
that his
dragon
socks,
bones.
Where? What are you doing, Jake? His t-shirt? Come on.
Huh?
We got at his clothes. We got look everything, right?
You
No,
do you
we're
want
we're not stripping the dragon corpse naked. If I see Celesto starting to do that, I smack his hand. No.
There's not gonna be much left. Like, didn't we blow his leg off, or I blow his leg off? Like,
His
I mean, I
leg
can't
up-
imagine those are salvageable.
you want the dirty loincloth he has covering his crotch?
No, I'm saying I don't think it's salvageable. I don't know why Celeste wants to take it.
I'm asking Celesto if he wanted that.
No, Celeste does take off his clothes just to draw
Celeste-
his body.
He wasn't
I
wearing
just
much
give him-
clothes. I'm gonna tell you right now. He had
I
like
just-
some metal plates. He had a pair of shoulder pauldrons. He had like a very light chain around his neck, and he had some gauntlets. That was really about all he was wearing, and a loincloth around like his lower extremities, which you have now
So
pulled off.
That's
Because
Theraxis as
one
he
of
starts
his-
taking his clothes off.
There is a penis.
as part of his nature roll, he's gonna draw this dragon thing.
Have you
Monster
seen?
creature?
Sorry, give me another second. Have you seen anybody else's thing before?
Are you a gooner?
No,
That's a
this is a
good
general
question.
because
Gotta add this to the quotes.
oh god,
Wait a
oh
second.
god.
Wait a second.
Um,
Wait,
would
did you
you be
say that
surprised?
Celesto was drawing it?
Yeah, so like imagine like Leonardo da Vinci's like
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
So you're trying to draw the Vitruvian man with this?
yeah, because he wants to send this off to the Elef Nodara, the expert on drugs.
Let's say like the 2-foot long loincloth that he was wearing was almost not long enough to cover up everything.
You can draw him without having to draw that, right?
No.
Hmm.
Like all the books have
Alright, listen.
the.
We may have
body
killed him.
naked.
He
I
may have been
to
our
draw naked.
enemy.
So
We
that's-
may have killed him. He may have been our enemy. But let's give him some semblance of decency.
But think
Yeah,
about
so
it.
you-
The reproductive organs of a dragon
Celesto?
are different from
He's-
ours. We have to know for sure whether his reproductive
No, we
organs
don't need to know,
are.
Celesto. You're drawing a dead, naked corpse. That you.
I needed to know whether he had the same
Actively
reproductive organs as us. I had to know.
No, you
But
didn't.
Celesto, I can safely assure you that I kind of like glance down now that he has like undressed, and I just kind of look at him and it's like, he's about on par with a dragonborn. Please cease the antics.
Actually, with your nature check, or was it Arcana check that you had done before? Sorry, I can't.
Oh no.
Nature check. He is actually fundamentally different to a dragonborn. With the amount of knowledge that you previously had, specifically, or especially in regards to dragonborn, sorry, give me one moment. I'm just gonna pull up some audience because like there's nothing going on. let's do a little bit of rain because there is a little bit of rain. Okay. But what you would know specifically in regards to Dragonborn is that Dragonborn were essentially all at one point human. That they were inheritors of essentially like an altered genome from humans. Like it was a human that got transformed into a slightly more draconic form. For this, it appears to be different. It appears to be almost the exact opposite way. The form seems significantly more draconic than it would have. Like with Syraxis, you could tell that his feet are, for the most part, humanoid, right? They'll make humanoid kind of shaped ones, whereas he still has these large claws and kind of like these things at the end of his feet and at the end of his hands. But this creature, instead, it appears to have been very similar to like the claws and kind of appendages that Autumn has. Autumn, you can see that there is this like small, tiny claw at the back of the foot where it kind of almost props up off of the ground. There's these three kind of sharp, pronged like talons near the very front of the foot. You can tell that the entire skeletal structure is different, and that the wings that it has are definitely not large enough to hold its own weight in the air, which, with the amount of knowledge that you kind of have, you would know that there's speculation that dragons also fly magically. It also looks like this creature is able to, like, the facial structure, the bone density, it's all different. It's more rugged, more bestial comparatively to Syraxis. In the categories of like,
The important part,
go ahead.
the important question is, does he still have a big schlong?
Yeah, like that's what I was talking about with the loincloth.
Okay. Jake, out of curiosity, this is just from an actual like real world biology standpoint. Reptilian things, reptiles and birds typically have a cloaca, which is where their genitals usually stay until they are used. This guy doesn't have that, I'm guessing.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Homie's built like a tripod.
He probably could have been, or more like
Yeah,
a
well-
four-legged thing, because you know, his tail was very long.
Yeah, well, I'm bigger. Anyways,
I'm going to point something else out here. This is completely fucked up. Stop drawing it. For the love of the gods.
Haven't seen one of these creatures before.
I'm
This
sure you'll see
curious to
plenty
know.
more.
What type of structures?
You know, they have libraries back home for this sort of thing. You could always go outside and look at
They have
one. I'm sure they
prostitutes for this
have
sort of
these
thing.
types of specimen there.
Well, tell me, have you ever seen one of these in the libraries? Have you ever read a book with these? Because I have not.
He
And I
let's
need to
do-
know why.
I can, Celestial, I can hardly read.
Yes, so I would appreciate it if you didn't interrupt my academic pursuits. Because this is a new thing I've never seen before.
Are you being haunted by the spirit of that gnome?
It changed.
This. See, my mother, she taught me
Your mother taught you to draw
Pursue
naked dead bodies.
everything to the best you can. Whenever there's something interesting or important, she told me, do your absolute
This
best.
isn't important. Interesting, maybe, but this is not the time nor the place. Nor the subject matter.
Oh, you're right. There could be survivors around. We should be searching for them.
Yeah, first off, undo your bloody work. Put the loincloth back on him.
It's just like puts it back on, but like not just like kind of roughly.
Yeah, the shape is very evident if anybody looks at it.
I'm going to have words with your parents if we ever find them.
Yes, as one parent to another, I have many and many questions.
Never leave him alone with your daughter.
Look, that's the first new rule I'm instating once I'm back home.
I should hope so.
And I'll go back to tending to Reggie after whatever the hell that was.
You see,
So we found
Reggie is still like, he's not necessarily quivering in fear anymore. There is still tears streaming down his face, and there's just a moment where you can see he's staring off into the distance, and it's just like it's a blank. There's this blankness behind his eyes.
I take his hand and kind of put my other one just on his like shoulder and upper back, and just kind of try and ease him down a little bit.
He just looks at you for a moment.
What did he say?
He said, "Uncle, you have to promise me.
Hmm.
You have to promise me that we're gonna kill this fucker."
I plan on it. Whenever he's not too busy hiding.
It's not a promise. Please.
We will.
Why does Reggie sound like he's dying in a noir novel now?
Thank you. He
We'll find them.
kind of
And this
brushes
time,
himself off, wipes all of his tears, takes like a really, really deep breath. Okay. But thank you, guys. There's people that might need help. Right? Yeah. So,
take a moment and catch your breath.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Yes.
We still need to. We're gonna check the castle first, and then we'll go through the rest of the town. And if we can find anyone, we'll start making our way back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, I'll kind of help him up.
Yeah. He kind of stands up after a little bit of effort. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Castle, right? Kind of gestures towards the castle.
Has Darcy already gone in to search it, or was he too
I was only
busy
gonna
trying
search the
to?
castle to find the dragon bones, but I've got them right fucking here
Yeah.
in this goddamn
Oh.
bag.
I'll just kind of like glance over. Oh,
Yeah,
The
you just
Darcy
see
was
Darcy
really
like dump the entire
reaching
thing
in.
upside down, and just shit starts to fall out. Most of it is like dragon bones. 90% of it is like dragon bones.
wow!
Uh,
How can yours fit all that in there, Darcy, or is his just better?
No, it's just that mine theoretically could. I wouldn't. I just don't have so many dragon bones to put in it.
Well, fair enough, I suppose.
And then additionally, on top of all the dragon bones, falls out a small diamond,
Oh.
as well as a bunch of spell scrolls.
Good for
3 first
okay.
level, 1 second level, and 1 third level. Wait, you guys have a wizard.
Well,
Never mind. You don't need to identify it. You would know inherently what they are.
Well, that diamond there is useless, so no one can use that. Toss it out.
No. Only
Uh,
casters are capable of using this to bring people back from the dead if they're so.
Nah, we can't do that. You can't do that, can you, Saros, right now?
No, not me.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Toss it out. It's dead weight.
Not yet, but maybe. Yeah. I will give the diamond to Saros.
sounds good.
Fine, but if once we get home, if Saros can't use it within a week, we're selling it. Looks
That
at
is
camera.
Yeah.
That is an exorbitant waste.
The first level spell is Speak with Animals. The second level spell is Find Steed,
Hey, I can use that.
and the third level spells, or sorry, no, there's a bunch of first level spells. Sorry, the third level spell is specifically, where is it? It is Speak with Dead. There's 2 more first level spells, which is Sleep and Goodberry.
I'll take the speak with dead. Unless
What did I say the second level spell was? I've already forgotten.
find steed.
Find Steed.
Fine
that's the
Steed.
one.
Yeah, I was about to say, hand me that Fine Steed spell there. I can't. I know vaguely of it, but I've always wanted to make a deal with another celestial being and just have it be there with me. That'd be pretty neat.
Are you certain it will be able to make a big enough steed?
I never said I was going to ride it.
That seems a little silly then. It's a steed.
Yeah, well, you know what? That haircut looks really silly, but you don't see me complaining. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. Take the scroll.
Okay, his sister cuts his hair.
Reggie takes a -1.
You say that to the man who doesn't look like he's fucking cut his hair in months.
Exactly 6 months from his mother last time. Last time his mother cut his hair.
Not you, me. Yeah,
Are
sure.
you? Okay, good.
He was
I thought
talking to
you were
me.
saying
Why the fuck would he just suddenly insult you?
I thought you were insulting
Well,
me.
he makes it really easy. There's a lot I could go after. But
Yeah, the hair is low hanging fruit.
But are you guys walking into the main castle?
May as well.
yeah, since when in Rome, I don't know what the Rome equivalent here would be, but
Oh,
we'll at least give it a once over. There might be something useful inside.
Yeah, kind of.
Darcy will also split up the gold, so I'll do the math for that real quick.
Yeah, go for it. You can actually just toss it in your party inventory and then do it automatically.
Oh, right. I'll do that real quick then.
You guys can just add all the items into your own sheet and then drag it from your sheet into the party inventory sheet if you wanted to. But yeah, as you guys kind of glance toward the actual building, you can see that it's rather tall, maybe at least 3, maybe 4 stories high. It is slightly kind of inset into the actual walls themselves, and you can see portions of the building would likely have been burnt down if it wasn't completely made of stone. Like many of the other buildings in this actual courtyard itself, you can see that the other buildings are made of wood or some composition of wood and stone, and because of that, all the wooden parts had kind of burnt to a crisp. Most of it just blackened logs, piles of charcoal, and just carbon that's not really much use anymore. Some of it's still smoldering ever so slightly, but looking at the main building itself, it looks for the most part intact. There is no main gate because it looks like the main gate has been either burnt down or just kind of like knocked off the hinges. So it's just a wide open kind of main entranceway into this larger castle. But yeah, as you guys actually wander into the actual area itself, you can see that it's a very narrow, or sorry, kind of like a short hallway, where there's a set of stairs that lead both left and right, just as you enter the actual proper building itself. There's a few kind of entranceways along this big hall, but the one at the very end appears to lead into a large hall, like a great hall of some sort. Where at this current moment, all you could see is just the remnants of like piles of charcoal from what you can only assume were tables, chairs, carpets, and things that were just burnt. You don't know if it was out of rage or anything, but surprisingly, you actually don't see any corpses. There's no charred piles of bones, there's no charred piles of armor. There is knocked over armor stands, but you can tell that they're stands because some of them were on like these platforms and they were just kind of knocked off, and they weren't necessarily designed to be used as actual armor and more decorational.
Right. That all went to the wrong fucking Darcy.
Uh, as you guys are kind of like looking left and right, you can see that there's a few other rooms that kind of branch off of this main hallway. There's the ballroom, or actually, no, none of them would have doors. Literally, all of the doors would have been fucking blown off. On the left side of this hall, there seems to be what appears to be like a large ballroom. Within in one corner is what had probably been curtains at one point, as well as a large grand piano, of which currently it's just like a small pile of wires, keys, and nothing else, because the piano itself has been burnt to a crisp. On the opposite side of this, you see what appears to be an area that enters into a set of kitchens, or what you think are kitchens. And then further down, there's another door that at this current moment you can't really see where it goes. Where would you guys like to go?
To the ballroom.
Okay. As you kind of walk into the actual ballroom itself, has Celeste ever been in a proper ballroom, even for like a small kind of
Yeah,
hold?
he's been with his parents for like meetings with higher up people. Like when
Mhm.
he's a kid and your parents bring you to like a social function, but you're like a kid,
Yeah,
so
so
you
you
just
don't
go
really
around
understand.
and yeah.
But glancing on the interior of this kind of ballroom, you can see that it's not extremely large by any means. It's like decently sized, and it probably could have hosted like a good maybe 50 to 100 guests without too much issues. Um, but you can see that there's small piles of these kind of tables and uh, curtains that were against the actual walls themselves that have all been kind of burnt to pieces to essentially shreds, to like there's nothing left. Um, Glancing around the actual room itself, are you looking for anything specific, or are you just kind of like just seeing if there's anything of note?
What Celeste is looking for is for survivors. Any
Okay.
signs of survivors?
If he's specifically looking for survivors, give me a perception check. You will have to do a new one every time you enter a new room if you're still looking for survivors. But at this current moment, glancing inside here, it's very difficult to say if there would be any survivors, and if there were survivors in this area, there'd be nowhere for them to hide. So you think it's very unlikely that they're in the ballroom. The DC was 5, and you almost fucked.
Okay.
No. But like, yeah. There's it's relatively easy to tell that there's probably no one in the ballroom because it's a wide open space. There's no cover. But yeah.
Looking for something.
What about the rest of you? Are you guys just kind of following in Celeste's footsteps, or is there anything else that you'd like to do?
I'm giving Darcy a wisdom saving throw real quick, just for funnies. Darcy seems lost in thought as they enter into the ballroom, and he's humming a weird tune with a sort of nostalgic look on his face.
Okay. The rest of you do pick up on that relatively easily. It's not like Darcy's trying to hide it. But Celesta, you have a proper look around the room, and you don't think there's anybody around. At least not in this room.
Okay, we'll just move on.
Okay, which room next? There's the Great Hall. There's the kitchen, and what appears to be like a different room that actually still has a door on it.
Let's see. Oh, no, not the door? Okay, I'll just go to that one.
The other ones had doors, but they were like blown open, broken, or burnt away. This one seems to have like a steel door or like a metal door. But as you kind of walk up to it, the door is closed.
Like locked.
Do you want to check?
Just closed.
Give me an investigation check. As you kind of take a look, the door is locked, one, on the other side from what appears to be a padlock. Because you see no keyway on this side, and you see no way of actually opening this door.
Are there like rooms beside it? That
Yeah. There's one room to the immediate right of it, which is the kitchen, and then there's the great hall at the end of the hallway, which is right beside this, which is to its left.
I'll check the kitchen and see if it connects to this room.
Sure.
I'll check the Great Hall while he's doing that.
Sure. Both of you give me both of you give me a perception check. This will also count as you trying to look for survivors if you're doing that as well. Celesto, you went to the kitchen?
Yeah.
As of currently, you don't see anything that would really represent a connecting room to this room in the kitchen, but you do see that the kitchen itself has windows to the outside courtyard. But within the actual kitchens themselves, you can see it's like ransacked. The entire thing has been essentially picked clean, stripped to its barest necessities. None of the pots, none of the pans and like bowls and stuff have been really touched by much, except for this fine layer of like soot. And aside from that, there's really not much in the kitchen itself. Or at least no survivors that you can see. Zane, as you're kind of looking around the Great Hall, you can see this like large stained glass window at the very far back end of this Great Hall that seems to like peer out into the proper outside. Give me a religion check, as it seems to depict a female character of some sort, but you're not super familiar with it, so you can't tell really who it is. It seems to be like an artistic depiction of one of the Lacanasaz gods, but you have no idea who it is. Or sorry, not Lacanasaz. It's the Ceneri. But looking throughout the actual room itself, you also don't seem to see any location that would lead to that area, but there is a door that has been blown off its hinges. As you kind of glance into it, you realize that that door actually leads towards what you think is the kitchen. And you do see Eclipse kind of wandering around, though he doesn't seem to spot you.
Okay, I'll go through that door.
Yeah, Celesto. Sorry, not Eclipse. You see Celesto. Celesto, out of nowhere, Zane just kind of appears in the kitchen.
Oh. I see the face mask. Oh, it's you.
You find anything here?
No, there's pretty much nothing left here. I'm not sure where all the food went. Does that mean that dragon-like creature ate it all, or the survivors took it?
Well, regardless, I'm curious what's in that locked room. Maybe there's some kind of clue to all of this. Maybe there's the last survivors. I don't know.
Could be.
I'm gonna try to look for a way to get in there.
How are you
Oh,
gonna look
or
and where?
something? Can I climb outside the window? Because I have a climb
Oh,
speed.
yeah, you can.
Climb
Uh,
outside
As you kind of
to
like
each
jump out
room.
the window, you're still on the first floor, so like there's no climbing that
Oh,
needs to be done yet. Um, but as you just kind of jump outside, you look into the area where there should be a room or like a window or anything. Um, there is no like proper windows, but you do see a set of like bars that are kind of like implanted into the actual walls themselves. They're about 9-10 feet tall, so they're not easy to like jump up to. But with you, as you have a climb speed, they're super easy to reach. Like you have no issues getting to them. However, it might be a little bit difficult for you to squeeze through them if you wanted to do that. And it does seem to lead into the locked room.
Can I go up there with them?
Uh, it's like 9 feet vertical straight up. How are you gonna get up there? He has a climb speed, so like he can just grab onto the walls. The walls are made of like stone and cobble, so like if you wanted to, you could climb it, but it wouldn't be for free. Like for him, I would need an athletics check for you.
I will attempt to find holds where I can climb it. So yes, I guess athletics check.
Yeah, go for it.
Fuck.
Unfortunately, even as you kind of look throughout the entirety of the wall, you cannot find a single area where it would seem like it would be reasonable for you to be able to climb up. You are fairly certain that this wall was almost constructed specifically to be like that. Because a lot of the other walls, they're a lot more rough.
okay. Jacob, I'll do. I'm gonna misty step through the bars,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I'll just unlock the door from the other side.
Yeah, with no issues. You kind of like you grab the actual bars themselves, look at a point where you believe it's pretty safe, you misty step, and you appear on the other side of. What is it? Why are you yelling at me? Chill, please. Oh, she just wants attention. But basically, you misty step into the actual other room on the other side, and you can see like it's a dark, almost damp room. There would have been at one point a lantern above you, but as of currently, it's just a bit of sunlight that's just, or sorry, not sunlight, like dim, filtered sunlight that's going through the clouds that are kind of streaming into this room. You can see the actual lock itself, and it is unfortunately a padlock that is still locked.
All right. I
But
take out my thieves' tools.
okay, go for it. Give me a thieves' tools check. I'll give you a little bit more of a description of the room itself as you kind of like step in, but it appears to be some sort of like library or study. And there's just like a variety of like books and things and ledgers and things that are just like all over the various different walls. Yeah, with relatively little issue, you managed to pick the lock. It doesn't look like it was designed to be anti-pick or anything. So you get through it with almost like zero issues, and the door just kind of opens from the other side, and the rest of you see the locked door that Eclipse was standing on the other side of, just kind of squeak open.
Yeah, you see out of my hand, like instead of claw, comes out like a little tinker tool, lockpick, and then unlock it.
Right? But yeah, the door is unlocked, and you guys now have access to what appears to be a study. As you're wandering around, those of you with dark vision have no issues really seeing in this room itself, but those of you who don't have dark vision have a little bit of a harder time because it's so kind of like dark, damp, dreary. There's not really much light that's coming in. There's a little bit filtering in from the outside of the bars, but really that's about it. But there is a large table with a large variety of just like random things that are just kind of like there, as well as like a variety of bookshelves that are lined almost floor to ceiling inside of this rather cramped and kind of dark room.
Yeah, can I do like investigation to check what's worth the value?
What do you mean by value? Like, is it valuable to you, or is it valuable information to like locate survivors, or is it like valuable something else?
Okay, valuable information to me. So like interesting books or knowledge, and also magical related items.
Sure. Give me an investigation check. Does anybody else want to take a look into what might be in this room?
Yes.
Sure. What are you guys looking for?
That's anything. I don't know. Anything that would stand out. Anything that's got maybe some symbols on it, or
Sure. You can give me an investigation check as well. What about you, Mr. C?
oh my god.
I am looking for anything that might be hidden or like things that look out of place, like like false shelves, like false like drawers, hidden doors in the wall, something like that.
Sure. Give me an investigation check as well.
Why am I rolling so shit?
We all got 4.
Celesto, as you're kind of taking a look around the actual room itself, trying to find any sort of information, you get a sense that anything that was actually genuinely important and anything that someone would have kept, it looks like they took. Because the room itself is like a scattered mess. There are books, papers, things everywhere, but there's distinctively various different slots in the actual walls, in the actual bookshelves that are completely missing, and you know for a fact that there would have been books, there would have been items and other things of note there. Unfortunately, you don't find much of anything at all. Oh, wait, sorry, that's a 13, right?
Yeah.
There seems to be something strange with the desk, but you can't quite put your finger on what it might be. Saros, unfortunately, you don't find much at all. And Zane, nothing hidden, as far as you can tell.
Maybe I'll pull in Darcy. Mr. Darcy, could you take a look at this desk? This look a bit odd to you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Darcy, who never really left the ballroom.
Yeah, Darcy, if you'd like, you can give me an investigation check as well.
With your woodworking tools, right? This is wood.
Real quick question.
What's up?
Did everybody get the money that was allotted to them? Am I stupid? Because I don't think I did.
I've not gotten anything.
Party
Okay,
inventory?
I'm gonna.
Did you put
so
it
we're
in
not-
the party inventory?
He
Yes,
did.
I
I watched
did.
him do it. It just didn't get put on our sheets after he put like split for with party.
Did it go to a different party? What
Different.
No, I
party.
checked. I checked
double
Varus.
checked all the fucking names.
I checked Varus's sheet and it's not on there. So
I mean, we can just
it
put
might
it in
just
manual.
be it might just be that the module's not working properly. My apologies.
Okay.
You could do it in the party sheet, like the actual sheets in the party. You see it
Okay,
under
well,
characters. I think you could
either
do
way-
it in that inventory. That one's probably better than the party inventory you have on your sheet.
Either way, everybody got 4 dwarven gold.
yeah.
118 100 yeah. 4 platinum, but it's dwarven gold. 118 gold.
Mhm.
And
A lot of silver.
19 silver. So not a lot of silver, actually.
Shotty had more gold than silver. I guess it makes sense.
I mean, silver's just all around inconvenient to carry.
True. Sorry, real quick other question. We're all here, correct?
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
Okay.
No one has.
I fell into
something
the
I didn't know.
Yeah. Syraxis has been missing for the last like 5 minutes. You guys don't know what? No, I'm kidding.
Damn.
From the best that you can see, yeah, no one's told me they've wandered off. So I'm
Okay,
assuming
cool. Just
everyone
wanted to
is
make
in
sure,
there.
just because I was gone for a little bit.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check as well if you're in the library, kind of taking a look around.
I got a 25 on that woodcarver's tool check.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna let Andrew roll to see if he rolls
No
anything
worries.
different.
Simply wanted to bring attention to it.
All right, I think I've figured out what I'm gonna summon with that scroll.
Yeah. Fuck it, I'll make a check. Why not?
Sure. Did Sir Axis want to do an investigation as well? I mean, I'm basically.
He'll, you know what? He'll give it the old college try, but you know, no satisfaction guaranteed over here, fellas.
Entirely fair.
Yep, like
Yeah.
you
Sir
know,
Axis, yeah.
he's too busy. He's too busy fantasizing the abomination he's gonna end up bringing forth into this world. Because trust me, if you thought the giant lizard was funny, just you wait.
Is
Is
it the
it
thing
going
you
to
said,
be
man?
good as a crab with 2 toucan heads? for
I
tails?
have two ideas. One is I think both are equally funny, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling whenever.
Is one
whenever
of
I
the
hit that
ideas the
level.
one you sent to me?
Yeah, that is one of them. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
You must know.
Okay. Eclipse, Sir Axis, the two of you unfortunately don't find anything else that seems to be remotely useful in that room.
That's
either.
fine.
But Darcy, you.
Yeah.
Oh my God! My cat just hit refresh. I'm so sorry. Kitty!
It's very cat thing to do.
Kitty, you just killed all of them.
Damn,
I don't
that's
think
rough.
The
I
castle
did,
caves in.
but
I wrote it. Everyone roll 46. Roll another 46.
Ah, yes.
Give me 4 more sets of those, please. But yeah, no, you guys are fine. However, Darcy, as you're kind of taking a look at the table itself, you realize that one of its legs is like in an off position, and it doesn't seem like that's a normality. As you kind of like take a look down and you kind of give it a little bit of an inspection, you realize that there's a trap door that this desk is currently covering, and the trap door is ever so slightly raised. Like you never would have been able to tell with anybody else. You spotted it.
sure, yeah. Celesta, if you could move the desk, please.
Celeste, give me a strength check or an athletics check.
I'll use my bodysuit. Starts creaking.
It's not like a super heavy table, but with a peanut butter and jelly fueled
It's
diet,
mahogany.
it's pretty
What is
heavy.
this? This is so dense. I can't. It's
You
hard.
move the table maybe like 3-4 feet in the span of you guys.
Darcy picks up the other end.
Yeah, you guys watch him like struggle with the table for like a solid minute before it moves the 5-6 feet that's required to get to the trap door. And as you kind of look down, you do see a trap door. It is extremely, extremely well hidden. And you probably wouldn't have seen it if it wasn't for the slight displacement it was causing to the desk. At that moment, as you're kind of taking a look, you're not really sure how to open it, but it is a relatively large trapdoor. This thing is like maybe 15 feet by 15 feet.
Oh.
Like 1.5. Like it's pretty fucking sizable.
There's going to be anybody around here. Down there's a good possibility.
Yeah. It looks like whoever was here escaped. They took everything with them. That's important.
The real question there is. No, it was probably guards that put the desk back over it. Well, let's open it.
So take there's no handles.
Not an
Anything like
obvious one.
Was I able to find something like that with my 25?
You know what? I'll say sure. You do find that there is like an inlaid handle that is like perfectly carved into the actual floorboards themselves, that even you missed it for like a solid 30 seconds before you realized, wait, this isn't supposed to be here. And then you kind of like propped it up with a chisel, and then it actually kind of came off. But yeah, as you guys
Simple, yet the well crafting makes it ingenious.
um as you guys pull it kind of open properly, the door kind of like creaks itself open, as it feels way easier to open than you thought it would. Like it came up really easily, even with just like one arm from you, Darcy. On a 15 by 15 foot wooden door, it shouldn't have come up that easily. But you see a set of stairs that seem to descend into the actual depths of the castle itself.
Hello? Is anyone alive down there?
Hello? Hello? Is anyone alive? Is anyone alive?
That's fun.
I'm guessing they just fled completely.
Well,
Hmm.
given what was
shall we?
chasing them, I would too.
Maybe we should follow it to reach the end, just to give us a direction of where they might have gone.
Russell is interested. Don't you go down? Sure.
Sure. If you guys decide to go down, you can. Are all of you going down?
Everyone else
Uh,
is.
Other people go, I'll go.
yeah.
Okay. Siraxis?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay, so all of you kind of begin to head down. Do you just do so in the darkness, or do you light a torch, or do you just...
Oh, if it's dark, I'll grab a torch. Because Reggie and I have like a handful,
Yeah.
Go scout it out first.
so I'll
before we
just
go.
yeah, I'll
Using,
take it and kind of move ahead.
yeah, using one of the handful of torches that you guys had, you kind of light it, and this... It just flares to life as you guys begin to descend down these steps. And for a little while, it's not really much. There's maybe about 30 seconds of descent before you come across what appears to be like a rather large, what you can only describe as a storeroom. It's separated by these various large shelves, and you could see and feel that it's a lot cooler down here. These shelves all seem to contain like these barrels, and as some of you kind of walk by, you recognize these to be like wine barrels or beer barrels or something akin to like fermentation. Um, but you do see also at the end of this rather large room, there is another door that seems to lead down. Or at least you think so, because the door itself is actually locked. And it is made of wood. But it is a locked door with a keyhole.
Locked from this side, at least.
It's locked from both sides. Like it looks like it could be locked from either side.
Hmm.
So you're not really sure.
How about the handy dandy lockpicking kit?
Sure. Give
These
me
tools.
a Thieves' Tools check.
Guidance.
Can I assist him?
You certainly could. You have advantage on this, Celesta, if you want to take it.
Sure. I don't know if I need it.
Yeah.
Point.
With a 21, you can roll me your d4 for guidance to see if it hit its 25.
What?
Or, you know. Yeah, no, you just don't get... No, I'm kidding. You actually get through this door relatively easily. It's not like it doesn't seem like it was locked for, like, the express purpose of
If for whatever
keeping
reason
things
that wasn't
out.
going to work, I was just going to take my tools around the lock area.
Yeah, like it's a wooden door. They wouldn't put an expensive lock on this. It was relatively easy to open. You kind of like it takes you like less than 10 seconds. Click, it opens, and you pull open the wooden door, and you can see another set of staircases or another set of stairs that just seems to kind of descend down further. This one, like the previous, like the first set of stairs going down into the cellar, was more like properly carved. The stone itself was like brick. There was like mortar. It was, you know, decently good to look at. The storeroom for all of this alcohol and all that stuff was also like relatively decent. But now here, it's just rough hewn stone, like barely chiseled to keep it like a solid foundation to be able to walk through. And something that's surprising to you is that it's also relatively wide. Like this thing is like maybe 11, 12 feet wide, this door alone. And it was also relatively easy to open.
Hmm. Oh, there be such a wide door down here where the people, the folks in this area large.
No. Perhaps it was simply to make it easier to get alcohol to the ballroom without anyone noticing.
If you guys want to, you can technically give me an intelligence check just to see if you can determine why it was so wide.
Sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
I know
god.
exactly why.
Darcy, the
Yeah.
architect.
Your
Darcy,
brain is as wide as the doors.
you are 99% certain that this was specifically used as an escape route. Like, this is an evacuation tunnel. There is without a doubt in your mind.
Well, we were right on the money. It's an evacuation tunnel, actually. Thinking on it.
It is specifically designed to funnel large quantities of people as quickly out as possible, just in the case that the city fell somehow. It looks like it had previously been out of use, but now that you're kind of taking a good look at it and you're getting like a little bit of a closer kind of proper inspection of it, you realize that there is like hundreds of different relatively fresh footsteps that have disturbed the dust and everything else in this area. Like they're blending together on the stone, the dust, and tiles to the point where you can't really tell how many there are. There's just so many. Like lots of people have gone through this place very recently.
Can I see in the room where these footsteps are going?
Yeah, the general direction, they all seem to be heading away from the castle, deeper into this set of stairs, like the stairs that you guys just opened. And now that you kind of look on the other side of this door, you realize that the key is still stuck in on the other side.
Darcy will retrieve the key.
Yeah, without an issue, just kind of pops right out.
Well, do you think that the people who lived here might have used this, or do you think the attackers used it to leave?
I suspect, given the ferocity of the one we fought, I wouldn't be surprised if he was the only assailant.
You think he alone did this?
Well, we haven't seen a grand array of bodies. Perhaps enough for one particularly vicious combatant.
Well, I guess we can keep looking
Because-
forward and see if there's
Because from the
anyone
looks of
down
it,
here.
Let's keep following.
tens, if not perhaps 100 individuals have recently come through here.
Darcy, with that 23, and Celesta with the 22, you would both be aware that a tunnel like this would typically not lead to a location where they would stay. It is designed to get people out. So something like this tunnel, will most likely lead to a point where they can exit away from the city, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you can keep tracking them if you so wish, like if you wanted to, but there's not going to be like a stopping point until you find them, which you don't know where they've gone.
As it is, I doubt we'll catch up to them. Considering everything, if they left and weren't intercepted outside the city or anywhere in the tunnel, well, they'd be 5 days away from here.
No, if you think about it, they're carrying a bunch of luggage. They would be maybe injured, women, children.
But they still have had several days of a head start compared to us. Even if they were moving at half speed and taking care to ensure that any survivors that were going down this path were, still with the group, they would still, at minimum, be 2 or 3 days ahead.
They'd be.
And that's assuming that they also got out and went somewhere else. That it's always possible, I suppose, that someone was waiting on the other end. And in which
They'd be almost
case,
halfway to Vakam by now, if I had to guess.
yeah. And either way, if they were able to escape to go to the nearest city or town from here, or they were immediately slaughtered on the way out, it wouldn't really matter. At least in terms of us following. Either we find them dead, or we don't find them, and we have to assume that they were able to make it out.
Regardless, they were survivors, and they'll return to Graham's Peace soon enough.
They will return. As soon as we inform
Considering we
them.
have what we came here for, we may as well continue down this path and take our leave.
Do we not want to check the actual town itself, or are we just going to assume that anyone who was there is dead, and anyone who didn't die there was able to make it here?
I think it doesn't hurt to give it one look over, see if there's anyone here.
Probably not.
Like, I'm not saying we have to go, going through the rubble to try and get a body count, just to make sure that there's not someone, maybe hiding in a cell or, cannibalizing their family. Sorry.
If they're doing that within 5 days, it is, well, at that point, there's nothing to really do.
I was mostly jesting, but hey.
Anybody that turns to cannibalism in 5 days has problems.
Well, do we want to do what?
Dire situations,
Did
you guys want to head deeper?
Me watch.
Did you guys want to go back and explore the castle bar?
I think we should look for the rest of the survivors in the town. And then maybe number 2, try and inform these survivors that it's safe to come back, the ones that escaped, so they can rebuild.
Well, if they've escaped.
If they've escaped, they're nowhere near here.
Yeah, they're going to have more than likely gone to
We've
Vakam.
already extended our trip out from Ardalan by over a week.
Yeah, more than likely, because we did not spot them on our way here, which means that more than likely, if they did manage to make it out of this tunnel alive, then they went more southwest towards Vakam and are likely already there. And at that point, if they're already there, us telling them, hey, it's clear, isn't going to change anything.
The only reason
News will spread naturally. People will pass through here, see that it's destroyed.
I think waiting for time to let these sad people who've had these homes destroyed, waiting to bury their loved ones, and for those bodies to rot out here. I don't think I would like that, and I don't think those people waiting in Volcom would like that either. I believe we should somehow try and inform them so they can come back,
How would you
bury
like
their
to do
dead,
that?
and rebuild. What? Even if I'm going alone, I'll go to Volcom.
Or we can just go back to Ardalon, and once we're there, we can just send a message out to Vacom to inform any new refugees that have come from this town that it is clear. Because think about it, they already know, they've probably already told the people there what has happened here. If they are going to eventually come back, they're going to be sending people with them, not only to rebuild, but to also just confirm that it is safe.
Point is, if we go over there, it's just going to look like you were fishing for a reward.
And then we extend our time out here by probably another week at that point, because it would take us a few days to get there. We'd probably end up spending another day there, and then we'd have to traverse back the other 3 days just to get back here, and then the nearly week to go back to Ardalon. And we, as mentioned, are not in a good condition, and our, how do I put this? Doran is aware that we know of him, and that he was behind this. I don't think it is wise to leave Ardalon without us for any longer than it needs to be. Especially with him already knowing that, well, myself and my family live there. I think it's just best for us to return back. We can check over the town, and then we can even come through here if we really wanted, just to confirm that they've gone that way. And then we go back to Ardalon, and you can send a message out here to inform them that, whatever was left was killed, assuming that they've not already discovered it. Again, that will be about a week from now, and I'm sure that at that point, news will have naturally spread.
Yeah, out of character, I disagree so hard, but I don't really want to argue back and forth. So I'm just gonna say, okay, Jake, do I know if Volcom is like a big enough city where we can get messages out easily?
Give me a history check.
Like if it's another like Gamine where like they're not getting Shackle, then I don't think it makes sense.
Even with a 12, especially with your parents having a background in adventuring, you would know enough about Volcom to be able to say that, oh, Volcom is the second largest city in the Umber Flats.
Okay.
They will have zero issues communicating with any of the other cities. Oh, sorry, give me 1 second. And you just know that there is a major religious order that is based out of Volcom. And they are typically very kind of, how do I say this? Like, they're very kind, they're very opening. So, as far as you're aware, Volcom is very welcoming to outsiders, but they are on guard. Like, they're not stupid, they're just typically very friendly.
Okay. I'll just say knowing this, Lester will follow along with just going back to Arlon.
Alrighty.
To Ardalon, I guess.
The walk back. Hoping that there's no more fucking rhinos on the way there.
I was literally about to say, I really hope that, a rhino doesn't come out the cut and gank us like it's Dark Souls. That'd be a real shame.
Before we leave, though, we should probably like search the rest of the area before and just confirm that we didn't miss anything.
Any loose survivors?
Yeah.
Unless you dirty scoundrels are looking for loot.
Says the one who is stripping a dead man.
No, but that was purely intellectual.
You stripped a dead
Balls.
man to look at his penis.
You had to make sure he had one.
I don't care if it is intellectual. No sane person does that.
No, have you never met a supreme wizard like me?
You're not a supreme wizard.
Wizard.
You're a
Oh.
man child who's subsisted on nothing but peanut butter and jelly for 6 months.
That image,
I'm just imagining him having this conversation with like a little bit of peanut butter stuck to the side of his mouth.
Emily, that's fantastic.
Like,
I love that
Sounds
we've delegated Kay's character to just being a peanut butter and jelly maniac. He doesn't do anything other than eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
he's like the kid that like will only eat like 1 or 2 foods when he's like in elementary school and like, won't eat anything else. That's it.
Listen, yeah,
He's like a college student who's been like forced to live alone, but like he just straight up can't cook.
forced to
just
live
does,
alone,
like-
except he still lives with his parents. They've just been gone for a little bit.
Yeah, like that's what I mean, like forced to live alone, and he can't cook. But like,
Yeah,
as a child, you make like your own snack, right?
he knows how to make peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just the best way to describe a lot of your characters, Kay, is hilariously tragic.
yeah, it's accurate.
Yeah, we had the last one that was in his fuckboy phase for like 300 years.
Might have had a child and was fucking just dreading the fact that he might have to meet that child at some point.
I remember, like I literally asked my God if he had a child.
And the answer was yes.
But yeah, let's head back to
We
town
don't-
proper and just give
yeah.
it a once over real quick. Make sure that there's not anyone somehow clinging on to life in the debris.
All right. As you guys kind of turn around from this area itself and head back into the actual town proper, or actually into the castle proper, there's a variety of different locations of which you could kind of continue to pursue if you so wished. The primary one being the actual castle itself. There's a second floor, if you so wished. Or actually, no, sorry. There's a second, third, and a roof. Additionally, there is the lower levels of the actual town itself.
Do we want to? Do we maybe wanna-
already here?
Well, yeah, I was about to say, do we maybe want to like split up with like a couple of us just clearing the rest of the castle and the rest of us quickly going into town? That way we're not here all day.
Yeah, we can cover more ground. Yeah.
Like it already seems like anything of value's been taken, so really we're just looking for any signs of life.
Okay. Then I will sweep this up into quick sweeps. Who is going to which portion?
I'll go bottom up, so I guess the second floor.
Wait, sorry. Do you mean the castle or do you mean the lower levels?
We're searching
oh,
the town,
castle.
not the castle.
No, I'll go to the castle.
Okay.
Okay, we have Zane going to the castle. Any other castle volunteers?
Sure, it's less
Go with Zane just in case. Oh, you want to go?
a state castle.
All right. Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
Okay, so the two cat boys had the exact same idea at the same time, and they're going with Zane. I'm guessing the rest of you are going to the lower levels.
We're the same person, Jake. Okay, Jesus.
I'm just
Darcy-
checking. Just checking.
Darcy was going to go search the market district.
Yeah, I'd like to go into town.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
3 and 3.
perfect.
Well,
Let's start.
3-4
3 and 4.
technically. Reggie's here.
Well,
Yes.
I've got Autumn, so it's 4 and 4. All right.
Yeah, well, Autumn's not a person. Sit down.
Whoa, Reggie's also
Sorry,
an NPC.
Yeah.
Hey, look, all Syraxis needs to do is cast that Find Sea spell, and we got you outnumbered again.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good fucking luck.
Sorry, I'm
But-
sorry, Reggie, to inform you, but you are merely a construct ran by our overlord, and you are like backup character number 3 for me. Should Thraxus me
Number
die,
3.
you know?
Number
Yeah, there's
3.
2 others. There's 2 others, you know, just in case. He's
I know
still,
one
you know,
of
he's
them.
pretty low.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Poor guy.
You're
Doesn't
like,
even
you
know
know, what's the saying for nobles? I can't remember.
That's
In what
okay.
regard?
Like
Yeah.
the last born. Oh, like you're the spare or whatever.
Oh,
That's fucked up.
just in case.
Fair
Just in
child.
case all the others die, we
yeah,
had you.
you have the heir, and then you have the spare. So,
Yikes.
Just in case.
The three of you going into the castle, give me an investigation check.
Oh boy.
So we're
Seeing that I've got
Why?
seeing that I've got these two with me, can I just roll a perception check to like listen for things, people and such?
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check instead.
Cool. Wow, that was awful.
Yikes.
Can I roll a perception check for Autumn too?
Yes, you can. If you so wish.
Beautiful. Oh, let's go.
Okay.
All of us
Well-
in the castle have such high like pluses, like mods.
You guys had
Yeah, we have
Such
such
high
high mods, but
mods.
it doesn't fucking matter because we're rolling
Such
shit.
Dog shit rolls. That's okay. That's okay. It happens.
It's like
Zane,
a 3, a 4, and a 9.
Zane and Eclipse, as the two of you are kind of trying to mind your own business, or not mind your own business, as you're trying to search the castle for survivors, for people that might be important, for anything that might kind of like even remotely give you any sort of indication, or any survivors, things like that. The two of you, unfortunately don't find very much. As you guys go into the second floor, there's a variety of like guest rooms. You see a large kind of council chamber with a large like circular table that has probably been burnt to a crisp. Actually, there is something that you guys do find, because the third floor and the like highest rooms, there really isn't much, but there is a greenhouse that is actually surprisingly only half burned, as it looks like it was too wet to continue burning, and only one something sort of explosive fire projectile was launched into this area before it was just kind of left. But if you wanted to, you guys can take a little bit of a deeper look inside of the roof greenhouse. Additionally, Celesto, you kind of walk by a room. The other two have already like walked past it, and you realize that this small entranceway is actually what appears to be an armory. And as you walk into the actual armory itself, you glance around and there isn't really much left. There is a single like piece of breastplate that is left on a rack. There is like one piece of studded leather armor, and there is this large chest that is in the center of this room. There is a large amount of damage inside of this armory. And getting a little bit of a closer look, you realize that this room was very likely where Kavar had spotted all of you coming in, because it's currently facing to the northeast. You see this large chest in the center of this room. It is completely undamaged. However, the surroundings of it are a complete mess. There is claw marks. There is like a flail. There's like these broken tiles. There's explosions that seems to have gone off in this immediate vicinity. It seems like everything that could have been thrown at this box was thrown at this box. But it's completely unharmed. There's a little bit of dust on top of it, and that is a little bit of soot on top of it, and that is literally it. There is nothing else. It is pristine.
Let me call my crew.
Yeah, Eclipse, Zane, the two of you come down, and you're like, you see the exact same thing. You're like, holy shit.
The hell happened here?
That's certainly something.
Must be magical. Maybe some kind of enchantment inside the chest of the that's preventing the damage.
Well, you got any way to figure that out? You know, actually magic and stuff.
Well, I could
This-
identify, or I could enchantment.
I could detect magic, but I don't think that'll do much here.
I mean, it'd tell us it's magic or whatever, you know.
Okay. I guess
Anything
I
around
can.
here, I guess.
Yeah, I will ritual cast it, I guess.
Okay,
Uh,
official cast.
I'll tell you right now, you don't even need to cast it. You will 100% see this. You know it's magical. Like, as you get a little bit closer, you could feel this almost like powerful hum come off of it. It is brimming with magical energy.
Is there like a keyhole or something?
At this current moment, there does appear to be a keyhole, yes.
Wonder if it requires like some sort of device to open, or like a special key, or if it's trapped, so if we attempt to lockpick it, it will try to harm us. I'm not sure.
Could I give Zane like a guidance and like help him?
To do what?
Okay.
Like, are you trying to determine if it's gonna blow up in your face or something, or like what are you trying to do?
You know what? I will try to lockpick it.
Well, no, like Zane's knowledgeable in the darker side of
Okay.
the world.
Zane.
Let's say, would he be knowledgeable about trapped chests?
Yeah. Is this? Can I tell if this is trapped?
You'd have to give me an investigation check to see if it's trapped. It's trapped.
What are these rolls? Okay.
It is 100% trapped.
Okay, this is.
You don't know what type of trap it has, but it's very likely that it is extremely deadly.
I think that if we try to open this, guys, we might not walk out alive here.
Yeah, you could tell. He didn't. The dragon creature didn't directly touch it. He threw a bunch of stuff and attacked it.
Yeah, we should. More importantly, we should be careful.
Well,
this one.
do we want to like see what happens when you throw? I mean, we can kind of see the wreckage, but do we want to see for ourselves what happens when you throw something at it?
We can try. And,
get out of the room
safely.
and then, yeah,
sure.
Throw like an armor stand at it.
Something.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would probably require you guys to tell me a little bit more in detail exactly what you're doing, so I could confirm. But so what is it that you guys are attempting?
We're gonna test out the trap.
Yeah, I want to throw an armor stand at the box and see how it reacts.
And we're standing like outside to like protect ourselves.
Nowhere near the possible explosion and or something else radius.
Okay, so you guys are standing outside of the room, and Celesto himself is throwing a armor stand at the chest.
I mean, I could shoot an arrow if you want, as opposed to like
Oh,
risking
yeah.
throwing something.
Meanwhile, downtown, this is gonna be like what we see from a distance.
You guys just hear kaboom.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll take up my bow and arrow and I'll shoot the box.
Okay. What order do you do this in? Do you do this at the same time as he's throwing the armor stand, or do you do this before or after?
I think he's not gonna throw it, and I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm
shoot
not
the
gonna
arrow
throw it
instead.
because
okay.
he pulls out his bow. I'm just like, okay, it's easier.
All right, give me an attack roll.
Sure, no problem.
You are, where on the chest are you aiming for specifically?
Specifically, probably like the lock area, or the where the key would go in.
Yeah, so the chest itself doesn't actually have like a physical lock on the outside. It has an internal locking mechanism, so it only has a keyhole.
Yeah, wherever the keyhole is. Then,
Okay,
for
so you're
sure.
specifically shooting for the keyhole.
Yeah.
You shoot the arrow, it lands smack dab straight in the keyhole, and your arrow just kind of like bounces harmlessly off of it.
Okay, well.
Oh.
Nothing with the keyhole then, I guess.
As you go up to take a look, you realize that there's not even a single scratch from where your arrow hit. Even though you are fully aware that your arrows, I'm pretty sure, are magical, correct? Or
They are not.
Your
They are regular arrows.
Oh, then yeah, still. But
the only thing I got, my fists are magical, but not the
Gotcha.
arrows.
But yeah, as you kind of pick it up and look at the arrow, you realize the entire arrowhead is shattered. Your arrow is now useless.
Damn. Well, it certainly is powerful. It certainly is tough. The entire arrowhead's gone.
What if we just tried to lockpick it?
I mean, you could do that, or you could try to figure out if you can maybe untrap it first. That would probably be for the best.
I don't believe it's easy to, but I'll try.
I mean, if you think you can, great. If not, it's up to you.
Can I try to untrap this, Jake? Look for any signs, like magical sigils, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I'll let you try it. Give me... So you would know, one, because you have identified the trap, you would know that it's of magical nature, but there seems to be also a secondary layer to this trap. It's not like they tried to hide that this chest was trapped. It almost seems like they were trying to scream at you that this chest is trapped. As you take a look, you very much identify the first layer, but give me an Arcana check to see if you can potentially dispel it, or if you have any way of destroying it.
Can I help?
Yes, you can. Or you're proficient in Arcana, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With a 26, that is actually a success. The two of you working together, it takes a hot minute.
I am standing outside the room just in case.
Yeah. It takes like a solid 15 minutes of excruciatingly slow, painful analysis of this current magical spell that is currently enraptured upon the top layer of this chest. And question, do either of you have dispel magic?
No. Good level spell.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
We're not that high of a level, Jake.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm just because at this current moment, you know how to disable it. However, you are missing one of the key components, and that is the spell dispel magic.
Fuck.
Like, if you had that spell, you could disable this like instantly, but you would only be able to disable this outside layer of the trap. There would still be another layer that you'd have to go through.
With that Arcana check, can they tell what the outside layer is?
Yeah, I'll say that you can. It is um it's a power word kill.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a good thing
Hey.
you didn't try to lockpick it yet.
Damn.
But
That would have
It's-
been pretty
it's-
funny.
it seems to specifically only target certain creatures or certain types of creatures. Which type, you're not sure.
Ooh.
Can I ritual cast detect magic to figure out the second part of the trap?
The second part is purely mechanical.
Oh. Can I look? Can I try to figure out the mechanical part of it?
Not without touching the chest.
Right.
I mean, you're free to. I'm not going to stop you.
Um. Okay, I'm
Seeing that
gonna
they haven't
touch the
died, I'll
chest.
walk. Oh, never
No,
mind.
you're not.
Okay.
I was gonna say, seeing if they haven't died, I was gonna walk back inside, but never
You touch the
mind.
chest, and nothing happens. Like, it feels extremely warm to the touch, to the point where it's uncomfortable, but nothing happens.
Okay, so I guess I am not the intended target of this first layer.
You
I mean,
are
if they knew what
aware.
was coming out for them, it would probably be something dragon related.
You are aware that this first layer does not target, at the very least, to your knowledge. What race are you? Half elf?
Yeah.
At the very least, it does not target humans or elves in any sort of capacity.
Okay. So now that I know that it's safe to touch, can I figure out the mechanical trap?
Yeah, you certainly can. Give me a lockpicking check. This is specifically to figure out the mechanic, not to actually break into it.
Fuck, what's the lock picking? Is it the thieves' tools?
Yeah, it's the same as the Thieves' Tools.
Can I help?
Ooh.
Because it's just knowledge based.
Yes, you
We're
can.
just discussing the mechanics.
23. Okay. With the 23, you could figure out that this internal mechanism is meant to activate something on the inside if this was breached improperly. You don't know what that internal mechanism is, but you have a very, very heavy suspicion that it's a magical item that is also being held on the inside.
Okay. So
Give me an Arcana check. You could do one as well. Both Eclipse and Celestia.
Don't worry, guys. I'll be such a big help here. I'm so good at
Hey.
intelligence things.
Could be worse. Yeah. Eclipse, you're just kind of chilling by the door. You're like, nope, no idea what's
I
going
don't
on.
know what the fuck is happening. They're saying a lot of words, and I'm catching maybe 5 of them.
Yeah. Zane, you have a very, unfortunately, in this specific case, you don't have a very deep understanding of what this mechanism would be. But Celesto, you have a little bit of a better idea. Kind of taking a look at the actual mechanism, given the traps, this device was designed by someone very powerful to keep very, very untrustworthy people out of it. Why it's in this small city, or why it's in this small town, you don't know. Unfortunately, anybody that would be able to provide you any answers is no longer with the city. However, piecing it kind of a little bit together, you would realize that there was probably a very hefty reason as to why Kavar was trying to get into this thing. It was likely important. Why? At the current moment, you have no idea.
He mentioned, I don't know if they translated it, but it mentioned a ritual. Could be a
Yeah,
Could be a
but they
component of
needed
the
the
ritual.
dragon bones for the ritual.
anyway, this seems too important to just ignore.
Give me a perception check with Eclipse. You notice what appears to be like a bedroll in the corner of this room, and on top of the bedroll is just like a variety of different rotting crumbs. From that alone, you could probably infer that Kabar was in here for a while.
Well, I mean, either he let his curiosity get the best of him, or you might be right then. 'Cause he was in here for quite a while, as I just point to the bedroll.
How big is this chest again?
It's not that large. It's actually maybe like a foot wide, and maybe half a foot deep, and half a foot high. So like 6 inches, 6 inches, 12 inches.
That's tiny.
Zane, could you pick it up?
Yeah, can probably just pick it up and take it with us.
I mean,
Put it in my bag of holding for now?
we definitely can.
Or should we?
I don't know anything about magic. Sure, why not?
Should be fine.
Even before this is a chest of holding, and we
Yeah,
get sent
that's
to
what I
the
was about to
astral
say.
plane.
It's gonna be a sad
Okay.
day. It's gonna be a sad day when it turns out to be an extra
Yeah.
dimensional chest.
Like,
Oh.
in my head, I'm like, I would love to wear them, but fuck, I don't know shit about magic, man.
That's true. We know. I don't know if we would know it's interdimensional.
I only one way to find out.
I would say with the
Literally.
Arcana rolls that you guys have gotten before, with like how high you guys have rolled, you can tell that it's not extra dimensional. Like
Oh,
it's
thank
there,
God.
there is no chance that if you put this into a bag of holding that it will implode and kill all of you.
Oh, thank
because
Cat
God.
just look
boys.
at the corpse of me and
Well,
Zane.
it won't kill you, but
Yeah, we'll just be sent to the astral plane. You know, where fun things are, like my
You'll you'll wish it killed you.
You
mind
probably
flayers,
would wish it
astral
killed you. Yeah.
dreadnoughts, bunch of
Yeah, I was about to say
angry
astral
frog
dreadnoughts, like
Oh, you don't want to know
ancient
what's in
elder
my.
gods.
You don't know. You don't want to know what's in my.
Somehow we
We
survive,
we
come back
almost
50
knew last
sessions
time.
later.
I was still scared.
Somehow
Doors
the
beyond our
three of us
comprehension.
survive, and we come back 50 sessions later at like level 8. Because
Uh.
we've just we've had to survive.
That would be actually insane.
Basically like demigods on the earth. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, you know, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, put it in your bag and let's.
yeah. just
I
bag
would
of holding.
recommend maybe not letting our dragon friend touch it, just in case.
Yeah, that's a good
Because if
idea.
he couldn't touch it, I think our friend probably won't be able to touch it.
Okay. I mean, Sasso doesn't want to touch it either. He doesn't know which is safe.
Well, make sure you remember that you got it in there and you don't accidentally touch it one day.
It'd be pretty darn funny if you all take it out there and then my daughter touches it and the half of Dragonborn
Ooh.
gene in her kills her.
Ooh, that's rough, bud.
Sasso's fishing out a PB&J and he just falls dead.
If this were any other game and I were playing any other character, I'd be like, here, let Autumn touch it. I can summon her back the next day, it's fine. But we're playing this game and my character would never do that. It'd be an easy way to find out, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely, it would. Hey, I mean, you could still do it. Not gonna stop.
Absolutely not. How dare you even suggest such a thing?
Oh, you know. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Alright, we wanna keep going, keep searching, you know?
Yeah,
We
just-
got a greenhouse on the roof that's half destroyed.
yeah, let's take a look.
You guys can take a look and kind of rummage in the greenhouse. I'll just ask you guys to roll for survival checks just to see if you can forage anything that might be potentially useful in here.
Sure thing.
Because there is a few things that were relatively rare in here that they were growing. Ooh, okay, I think I get to drop a few more entries for you.
Let's go.
Ooh. I can make some potions when we get back.
You do actually get more, specifically Thermopylae.
Oh, good.
Let's see. Beneficial. Yeah. So specifically, you get another 5 bundles of Thermopylae.
Kay, do you want to put this in your bag of holding as well?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
put in there.
You get a handful of elderberries.
Elderberries.
Sir, these should all be within Forest's beneficial.
Yeah.
These are all things you have ready. There is, because you rolled a 23, you actually get one more item that is not in that list.
Ooh.
It's on the tropical list, of which I can't share with you guys yet, but you'll let's see. It's called, you have 1 bundle of Harmony Friends. There you go.
I'm assuming we have no idea what Harmony Ferns do.
Nope, you got no clue.
Okay. But we know what they are? Or it's just because...
You would know what they're called. You don't know what they do. The reason why you
Gotcha.
know what the Harmony fern does is because it's like a rare and kind of like slightly enchanting plant that it possesses a unique and captivating quality. Specifically, it actually emits almost like harmonious melodies when like it's grown in the surrounding area. It is specifically a magical plant that allows you to kind of like within the greenhouse itself, you had walked up to it. It's up to you if you actually wanted to pick it or not, but it had essentially kind of like soothed your entire body and kind of like calmed your nerves just by being near it. It didn't cause any like specific changes to you, but it just kind of, you're like, wow, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah, I think if I know what it is and I think it'll be beneficial to us, I would absolutely, try to pick it.
Mhm.
And hope that doesn't just fuck up the entire plant.
Give me a survival check
Alchemy.
just to see if you know enough about
Uh-oh.
it. To see if you know how you're supposed to keep it.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Well-
just
I have an
you,
alchemy's toolkit. Does that help?
do you have a herbalist's kit?
No, I don't. I could make one.
Unfortunately,
hour.
this specifically requires a herbalist's kit.
Well, yeah, I think I look at the plant and I'm like, I know what it is. I have no idea how to pick it.
Well, you're asking the wrong people.
I know. I'm just saying we could pick this and it might just, die on us.
I've only
Well-
seen these in preserved forms. I have no idea how to plant them or pick them.
Well, it's
Well-
either we leave them here and get no use out of it, gamble it, or we ask someone more skilled, but I doubt we have the time to have someone come back.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Well,
If you give me an hour, I could make some tools for it. That's
I
Too
don't think
long.
we got an hour.
I mean, you can make a herbalist tools check without like the actual herbalist tools. It would just essentially be like a wisdom check.
okay, screw it. I'm just gonna be like, can I do this? I'm gonna do a astral survival.
Go for it.
Wisdom. Do Do we just
You-
cut off the flower part? What do we do?
I mean, I got no idea. At this point in time, maybe we just we got two options. We pick the whole thing, hope all of it is good, or we just leave it. So, 50-50 chance.
I think we just leave it. I think if we're going to destroy it, we might as well leave it for them so they could use it to rebuild.
Yeah, that's fine by me. At the very least, we know what the other stuff does. Okay. Yeah, we'll pick everything else and leave that, I guess.
Okay. So you just kind of leave the
Oh yeah, we got no idea how to
Everything.
pick it, so
that is fair. You just kind
Unless-
of leave it, and it sounds.
unless Zane can also make a check for some reason.
I mean, if Zane wants to, sir, give me a survival check.
Oh,
Zane,
What the fuck?
you are aware that if you pick this plant, it kills it instantly.
Oh,
And the actual properties of it requires it to be alive.
okay. I think actually seen this one before, guys. It's a bad idea to pick it. It's gonna die.
well, it's a good thing we decided to leave it alone then.
Yeah, it's for the best.
Yeah, let's just leave it.
Curious how you plant it then. Whatever, it's fine. We got most of the, good ones, so we should be fine with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I suppose we should go on and head back to, courtyard.
We do the swirly screen transition over into the other three, who have just ascended the stairs and have been kind of investigating the lower city.
Hey, look, a dead body.
As a just kind of like general overview, it'll be the same thing as what I've asked the other three to do, and because the chances of there being a threat is relatively low, I'm going to ask you guys to give me just a perception check.
I'm gonna get one for Reggie as well.
Sure. Is there anything specific that you guys are looking for? And which area of the lower floors would you be going towards?
I'm looking for any sense of life, any kind of survivors, maybe hiding, maybe buried. I'll go to somewhere that looks the highest chance of there being someone there.
Darcy, Syraxis, what are you two doing?
Darcy wanted to check for like a sort of market district because that would have been a high foot traffic area. Maybe people were still hiding there if they couldn't get anywhere else.
So all of you are kind of doing your own ways of trying to find survivors.
Yeah, I'll look along like the outskirts or like I don't know if this little town area is like walled off or anything. But I'll just kind of basically just be searching the near the outside and whatnot, just seeing if there's anything out there.
As you guys kind of take a look and begin to just rummage and just walk through some of the lower floors, you can see that they're surprisingly much more intact than a lot of the upper floors. Mainly, probably for the fact that, well, there's not a lot of wood, and the actual tunnels themselves seem to be both naturally occurring as well as man-made. They're not terribly confusing. there's quite a lot of like different maps and kind of things that indicate, and you realize that the lower floors are actually much larger than what you had previously realized. It is probably like a solid city that would have fit close to, or sorry, not a solid city, like a solid town that probably would have fit at least maybe like 1,000 people in here, relatively comfortably too. But it's kind of separated into a couple different layers, and the majority of those layers, as you kind of look through them, they're for the most part abandoned. Um, there is still signs of struggle and stuff, and you can see that there is like a large variety of like just different places where there is like bloodshed. There are places where like these explosions seems to have gone off, etc., and things like that. So you're guessing that your buddy, your pal, was down here at some point. Searching for survivors, there's actually nothing down here. Like there are corpses, but there is very, very few. Like in the entirety of the probably hour or two that you guys spend searching, you find like maybe 7 dead corpses, and all 7 of them are just like burnt to a crisp. In one way or another. It's not a pretty sight, but it's not necessarily disturbing. It's just a little bit hopeful that there's so few of them that were killed in this manner. But yeah, there's actually no living people that you guys find in Overflow. But as you guys are kind of looking through things, trying to find it, you do stumble into the market district, and you can see that it was very quickly abandoned. There's just these like signs of not necessarily struggle, but of like a hurry. There's like baskets that are knocked over. There's like different stalls that are not properly closed. There's doors that are probably still slightly ajar. And you can see like there's indications that some of these stalls were probably like rummaged through in someone's attempt to find something. You don't know what it could be. You don't know who it was, but you're guesstimating that it was probably the dragon, like the half dragon, or whatever it was, like this new kind of type of dragon.
This abomination unto God.
Well, not necessarily untrue, but yeah. So as you guys are just trying to kind of like rummage through, trying to see if there's anything that might be of value or useful, as well, you don't really find much, unfortunately. It seems that whoever had been here is gone, and whatever has been left behind is unfortunately not very useful. You do find signs of other tunnels that are very similar to the one that you guys had seen inside of the castle itself. So you do find different things like that. And I'm guessing, as Syraxis is there, you guys are not rummaging through people's homes to find trinkets and shit, right? Or are you?
No, Darcy would not be doing that anyway.
Okay,
No.
yeah. I'm just checking. I had to double
It's
check.
funny you should ask. Let me check my oath real quick.
Yeah.
At most, Darcy would be examining like other craftsmen's works. That'd be like the most invasive he would get.
Yeah, and I'm guessing you probably wouldn't like take anything.
Oh no.
Yeah. You do actually find some like places where there's like carpenters, there's various different things where people would have resided or would have been, and they actually have some very nice work, and you kind of like take a little bit of notes and kind of inspiration on some of it. Yeah, I'll say you get a +1 on your next woodcarver's tools check. Just a +1. It's not much, but it's not nothing.
Right.
But yeah, as you guys kind of continue to investigate this area, unfortunately, nothing really turns up. But yeah.
Well,
Was
that's
there-
neat.
Yeah.
Seems like there was plenty of infrastructure for escape should it be needed.
At the very least, to you, it looks very much like the city was well prepared for something in case something like this did happen. But yeah. Let's see. Reggie does find a stray dog. And that's really about the extent of what you guys find. He does ask if you guys can keep it.
Oh, what you got there, Reggie?
I just found this little guy here hiding in the corner. He's looks so sad. And it's not like a large dog. It's a tiny little like you don't know what breed it is really, but it looks kind of like maybe like a German Shepherd. It wouldn't be a German Shepherd, it'd be a Midlands Shepherd, but you know. And it looks like it's relatively young. But aside from that, you can't really tell too much about it.
I kind of look at it. Like, it doesn't have a collar or anything.
No collar.
I'll just look at it and say, sit.
Give me an animal handling check.
It's certainly better than an int check, boys. We're on to something.
Waiting for the nat one. Oh my god. I was waiting for a nat one and it just started trying to rip your face off.
It just looks at you, and as you say sit, it just kind of turns, looks at Reggie for a brief moment, and just runs. It just fucking bolts.
I mean, if you can get it, like,
No, it's
you're free to.
running. I don't scare it any further.
Where does it run off to?
It just seems to
walks
run off
over,
into
holding
distance.
onto an apple. I'm sure it'll be fine. Plenty of food around for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was more just seeing if it was trained at all, but
And from what I saw down in the food market, it already broke into the butcher shop.
well, I guess so we can finish looking around. Reggie, if you wanna, I'll hand him like some meat from just my rations and be like, if he comes back, you can always try and give it that.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I don't think we can keep it at my place, but I'm sure that if you handle it and it's it'd be your responsibility.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could do
Honestly, if you took it home, it would become your cousin's dog before too long.
that. Give me an animal handling check with Reggie.
He might actually be better at this than me. I can't remember if he's proficient.
Maybe.
Where is? There he is. Oh wow, yeah, he's actually proficient. Look at him.
Hey,
Oh
let's
my
go.
There we
goodness.
go.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Yay!
Okay.
I guess it's the. I don't know how he's proficient. I guess
Oh,
it's
Reggie's
like
got
maybe a
a
night
dog
thing.
He does come
Let's hope
back.
Let's hope it survives the trip back to Ardalan.
It does come back, and it kind of sticks to Reggie because Reggie's feeding it a little bit, and like it seems to enjoy his company.
Well, I can't say. Darcy, you think? Do you have any like, I don't know, rain or anything that you could like put on it from like the donkeys and mules that we originally had, or no?
Sorry, what was that question?
I was basically saying, like, do you have anything from the mules back before, they got turned into paste by the rhino?
No.
That way he could,
Why
like,
would
he
I
could
carry that with
potentially.
us?
Well, you never know when, a mule or a stray dog, come rolling around. Whatever. Midland Shepherds are typically pretty smart, I guess. If it takes a liking to Reggie, it'll stick with him.
And yeah, that is unfortunately all that you guys really find in the lower levels. You kind of look through the market districts, and like there is bits of like golden stuff that are, or golden like silver that is just kind of like layered on like stands that you see here and there. But I'm guessing you guys aren't picking those up. I mean, you could. I'm not gonna stop. But would you?
No, I'm not trying to take anything.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty content with unless there's like just a holy avenger lying around here in the rubble.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty
definitely,
content.
man. I got
Yeah.
you, man. No, there's
Otherwise,
no
yeah,
holy-
unless there's some big fuck off +1 great sword lying around here, I'll
You know
leave,
what?
I'll leave everything as is.
Give me an investigation check.
The most Darcy would have taken is like an apple from a grocer's stand.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
I mean,
fresh fruits left.
I was
They're
about to
all
say,
gone.
like, if there was fresh food, then like, yeah, that can at least like be.
Well, I mean, apples can
Somewhat
stay fresh
useful.
for at least a little while.
Yeah, but it's also been a few days, and I imagine that wildlife at that point has been rummaging through.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll,
What did you get on your investigation? Oh, 17. Okay. You know what? You don't find a +1 greatsword, but I will say that you do find that there is a blacksmith within here. Like they have a sign that says Blacksmith Reynolds, capable of magical enchantments. So if you are able to find Blacksmith Reynolds, if they're still alive, that you could potentially get magically enchanted weaponry.
I'll keep that name in mind.
But yeah. I'd say eventually, after about 2-ish hours, the rest of you would probably meet up with one another.
Us three, or the people back at the castle as well?
All 6 of you.
Okay. So, anything useful? We found a dog. At that point to Reggie.
Which gives a thumbs up.
I mean, yeah, we found, a couple things. No people, but
Yeah,
we
no
found
sword.
bundles of herbs that are good. We found a trapped locked chest that we put into a bag of holding. Apparently,
you can open?
well. So the problem is that there's a very big spell on it. And apparently our friend over there, just kind of pointing to the dead corpse of the dirt, really wanted whatever's inside.
Huh. And so you couldn't. I assume if you have it on your person somewhere, then you couldn't open it.
Well, we didn't even try just in case.
Yeah.
Magically
I think
Fair enough.
Zane said something about failing to try would destroy what's inside, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Failing to succeed, I guess I should say.
Also, it has the potential to kill creatures that are not human or elves. So,
Well, that's racist.
you probably shouldn't go anywhere near this Syraxis.
Well, yeah, I'm not a human or an elf, you kind of gave that away pretty early on.
I think the big problem is the fact that our friend wanted it, and maybe he wasn't allowed to touch it because it would just kill him.
Well, should we try and open it before we leave, in case something happens on the way?
No, I think whatever's inside should stay inside. At least for now.
I mean, if anything, once they get back to Arlon, whoever is magically adept enough can mess around with it, and maybe we get the assistance of my wife.
Yeah, I doubt we'd be able to even do it now, anyways.
Well, I guess we're holding on to it now, so that's good, at the very least. So then, back from whence we came, then.
Homeward bound. Let's hope the woods have forgiven us.
You're asking for a telltale friends. That's me saying, not, random person.
Yeah, that's I throw my great sword at the cameraman.
You mean the dog didn't just
camera?
talk?
What the fuck? That's fucked up, man.
What the dog doing?
Dog?
What the cameraman doing? But yeah, as all of you begin to make your way back towards the city of Ardalan, having cleared out Gramsby to make sure that it's safe once more, that is not where we'll end our session. Let's roll a random encounter first. You guys can have 2 short rests in between this random encounter and
Thank
what
God.
you guys actually have to go.
Okay.
2 short
So
rests
that
equals 2 second wins.
Yeah, that is 3 rolls
There's
of
a short
my.
rest.
Let me go ahead and roll 3.
Don't forget to roll several. Don't forget to roll like additional 4d6s each.
Additional
because-
46s.
Because
The
cooking and Song of Rest.
food.
So how many 46s is that?
Well, 2 per rest. So, and let me double check how Chef works again, just to make sure.
Oh, right. So 1d6 per, and then
It's
4
1d8. Wait. Yeah, 1d8. An additional 1d8 from. So 2d8s and 2d6s.
Yes.
Plus 6.
It's literally doing God's work.
All right, and then you said sorry. How many d6s? 2d6 and 2d8. Okay.
6, 2 years, yes.
Plus 2d8. Oh boy.
Oh, and also over the next couple of days, just because I know that Reggie is having a bit of a rough time there after that revelation. Using some of our rope, I will fasten something
Leash
basically for him to basically
That's
to use as a
embarrassing.
leash or a lead.
Yeah, roll me 2 animal
Or-
handling checks for Reggie, because he's trying to train it.
Sure.
I rolled 3 hit dice and didn't get above a 2.
No.
That's
unfortunate.
super cool.
You rolled hit die?
You
Yeah.
have hit die left?
Yeah, I did. I don't anymore.
Okay, that's not great. Oh, that's pretty good. One more. Actually, no, sorry, only 2.
That was one.
It was only 2.
I'm also gonna roll his second win real quick just to see.
Yeah, go for it.
To see what. Wow.
Okay, so I need one person to provide me a random encounter that no one has provided yet. That's someone who hasn't gone.
Make sure this works. Sorry.
Only one person has gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
only been
that's
me.
true. So, someone who's not Ende.
That's racist.
I think
Only
it's
if you
named.
think it is. So,
Okay, I'll give one.
oh, sure.
Just like somewhere on the trail, there's just like some monsters that are native to the Underdark, just like crowded around something.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
But it'd have to be monsters. They've just been friendly creatures.
Okay, it's things like beasts or something. Maybe not humanoid that we can see.
From the Underdark specific.
Small ones at least.
I don't know.
Yes.
That's up to Jake.
Well,
damn it.
indeed, it will be up to me.
In before the Underdark is the home of things that eat purple worms.
Oh, I actually designed something. I mean, what? Yeah, as you guys are heading back to Gavin, the ground. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, as you guys are just kind of like slowly traversing throughout the days, you can see that it is, as you guys head towards.
We stay away from the forest, by the way.
Okay, good note.
As long as we can, we stay away from the forest.
Good note.
I just figured I should put that out there just in case.
Good note. But as you guys begin to head back towards the city of Ardalan, you kind of pack up your things, get ready to leave with a single new chest in tow, a bag full of dragon bones, and a lot of injuries in tow.
And a dog.
And a dog. That's true. To get back to the city of Ardalan. It takes a while. The wilderness is itself still very unforgiving, and it is approaching proper winter now. And given that you guys are in the Midlands, the temperature actually takes a turn for the significantly worse, as in a significant amount of snow starts to fall. The rain that you guys had experienced on that day slowly begins to shift to changes into can only be described as a snowstorm. Very quickly, it gets very difficult to kind of like stay out in the open to camp. So all of you being right basically near the base of the mountains, you kind of take shelter within the local areas. And within one of the caves, within the small caverns that you guys kind of discover for cover, one of the later evenings, as you wander throughout the entranceway, all of you hear what sounds to you like chirping that seems to be coming from deeper within this cave.
What was that?
Shall we take a look?
As you
Yeah, we
glance,
don't want to be staying in this cave if there's something else in here.
yeah,
Is it
as you
down
guys kind of glance outside, you realize it is like it's not a light snowstorm. It's a blizzard.
Oh,
You would not be able to exit
Oh.
this cave even if you wanted to.
I'm supposing none of you are good at dealing with snowy weather.
Okay with the cold, but haven't had much experience with snow.
I'm generally fine. My body temperature is naturally higher, but I don't know how cold it is at the moment.
Well, I guess we will be staying here then. I could probably risk it and be fine, but
In regards to temperature, let me give you a value. In centigrade, it would be -25. It is a 30-degree shift from the 2 or 3 days previous. And for those of you in Fahrenheit, it is -15.
finally some comfortable weather.
To you, comfortable. To the rest of you, extremely cold. I need everyone to give me a Constitution saving throw. I will say, because of your background, that Eclipse, you can have this at advantage.
Oh boy. It's
You said a con save?
Con save.
Guys, I lied. I'm not good with the cold.
Do I have to
You're
roll
handling
one
it
for
better
Autumn?
than Eclipse is.
Yes, you will unfortunately have to roll one for Autumn. And I
Damn,
will
I'm
need one for
I'm
Reggie as well.
impressed. I'm impressed you have a higher modifier than I do. Not COD based, okay?
Yeah.
Does Eclipse also, or
Yeah,
does
I
Autumn
didn't.
also get advantage?
Does who, sorry?
Autumn?
Autumn, because they grew up alongside you.
They're
Also,
entire.
sure.
Yeah, and they, they are a fire drake.
Yeah.
If that means anything.
Sadly, I do not have con saves,
Let's go.
even though I have a really good con itself.
Yeah. Syraxis, it's not so much that the cold itself at this temperature is bothering you. It's much more that the sudden shift of the temperature is what causes it's like the shock. Like your armor, you wake up, you put it on, and you realize, oh my fucking god, this thing is freezing.
I wasn't expecting it to get this cold, or else I would have had Micah get me some winter armor.
Yeah,
Say as
yeah.
I'm just like tensing up. How you doing, Reggie? I'll look over.
You see Reggie, and his teeth are like chattering against each other. He's like,
I imagine he's just holding the dog.
yeah,
shaking.
like they're both holding each other, and like the dog, honestly, the dog's perfectly fine. It's chilling, like it's enjoying this weather. Reggie, not so much. He is very much like struggling. So he's like got like two different blankets wrapped around him, and he's still like shivering in front of this small fire that you guys have started.
I feel like Darcy
Celestos,
comes in a few minutes later, having completely been oblivious to the fact that you all went off the road to find shelter for a little bit.
yeah, Darcy, you walk in like 2-3 minutes later. You're like, oh, this is where everybody was. But yeah, Saros, Syraxis, Celesto, and Reggie all are currently like shivering around the fire. If you guys are to engage in combat, I will say that your attacks will have disadvantage, and you will have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws until you can get rid of this cold properly.
I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I am going to grab that fire javelin, and I will basically just hold on to that, I guess.
It is unfortunately not warm enough to be able to like help your entire body heat up. Like when you're holding it, it's only warm to the touch. It's not like hot to the touch. Yeah, so unfortunately it's not fantastic. But Celesto, are you adding a +4 to your saving throw for this?
Yes.
A 16? A 16 does make it. Does this
Magic to
does that
cloak me.
when you're hit by an attack or you fail a saving throw, you can use your action to get a +4 bonus to that saving throw when you use. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say that you can't do that against saving throws that are of non-magical nature.
Can I just say?
Which is
Can I just say? I
stupid.
think that. Can I just say? I think that ability is wild because you can use it every turn.
I think that that's
That's a good ability.
fucking stupid.
Meanwhile, fighter, by the way, once per day you can
Yeah.
reroll save,
Like,
take it or leave it if you fail or not.
Honestly,
Why it sucks is like if you're a wizard, this is for wizards, you can't cast spells after. So
yeah, but you can still cast a
pull your
cantrip, which is
spellcasting.
still pretty big.
The end of your
Like,
Like
if
if
you're
you're
a
higher
wizard-
level,
I mean-
a cantrip is still.
In this game, you're gonna
Like,
be
in
running
your-
out of spell slots a lot anyways. I think this
Yeah,
this would be real.
Honestly,
this-
Arcane Deflection is really good.
it is
That
good.
right there works really well in this particular style of play. Just like the
Yeah.
chef feat works really well.
Yeah, I was about to
I'm
say, I don't
allowing it to
the
work
ability
very
itself
well.
is
I
that
know
like
you're being very kind. You're being very kind for that, and I thank
Like,
you for it.
I don't think that ability is like insane. I just find it funny because it's always like, oh yeah, fighter though, you get a reroll, and if you
Fighter
roll
is
over,
so
well, go fuck yourself.
fucking stupid.
'Cause, like at least that I can see it as being like a fine balance point. 'Cause it's like, okay, you used arcane deflection, counterpoint, your AC is still 13, and you have no reaction. Get that ass over here, boy.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Yeah, no. Celesto, you're actually fine. Like you're still chilly, you're cold, you're uncomfortable, but you're not like affected by it. Like you can see that Syraxis and Reggie and Saros definitely are. It's a sudden spike or like it's a sudden drop in temperature, and it's very unfamiliar to all of you. So it's like even to you in the north, like to you Eclipse, usually it doesn't drop this low this quick. It's usually just like this cold almost all the time anyways.
Yeah.
But it is a strange feeling to feel it drop this significantly. Anybody who is proficient in nature or survival can give me one of those checks.
Darcy's gonna start making. Darcy's gonna start heating and like melting some of the snow outside and like boiling up some water to make a nice warm drink for people.
Okay. Uh is there anybody else that would like to roll? Just double checking before I start telling.
I'm not proficient in either of those.
Oh, that is
I'm
disappointing.
half proficient. Does that count?
Why
Nope,
am I
it has to
rolling
be
so
proficient.
shit?
No, I'm sorry, Zane.
Oh wait, no, it's okay. I'm not proficient. I thought I was.
Oh, in nature? Yeah, that's a +5. That's just your intelligence bonus. Are you proficient in survival?
Nope.
Okay, then never mind. You shouldn't be rolling anyways. Okay, Saros. This is very strange, but unfortunately, your knowledge of the surface is just not inherently like complete enough for you to know if this is like normal or not. You just like you don't know what this. Yeah, it's just fucking freezing. Celesto and Eclipse, however, the two of you, having been more knowledgeable or at the very least some more experience in this kind of factor, Celesto, you would know that specifically drops of this temperature are typically because of specific weather fronts. At least you're fairly certain. And this blizzard might last more than just a day. It might be like 2-3 days. So you guys might be stuck here for a little bit. Eclipse, you know all of that as well, but you, in addition, know that this could potentially be caused by an Envier beast. Something that is specifically different types of beasts that have magically been altered, but not to the point where like they're considered monstrosities, but like physically they resemble the original beasts. Like there's cantaloupe versions, there's ones that look like deer, there's ones that look like rhinos, there's ones that look like elephants. They look like the original animals, but they are magically inherent in nature, and some of them, you are aware, are capable of controlling the weather. In a large region around it. And you would know that if something like that were to happen, this should, in theory, clear out within the day, as this creature would have to move on. Or, alternatively, if you so wished, you could hunt it. But you would know that it is extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they not only have so much innate magical power that they can literally control the weather around them, they are also typically quite powerful.
Yep. I'll pretty much just relay that to everyone. Yeah, there are two options. One of them, cold front happens. We'll have to wait it out. Other one is it's done by a magically changed beast, and we can either hunt it, which I wouldn't recommend, or we wait it out. Maybe it's over in a day.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's just wait it out. I don't think we should hunt down that magical beast. We'd be at a huge disadvantage anyways.
Yeah. Oh, it's not too long.
Anything that can have such a marked effect on the environment is certainly outside of our wheelhouse.
All of you hear another clicking coming from deeper within the cave.
Or that.
A very concerning noise. I have some honey. Would anyone like honey for their tea?
Yeah, you do that. Does this like sound familiar to me at all?
Let me see if I can find the sound. Give me a second.
That's fun.
That's not just a
Mm.
clicking, that's kind of
That's
horrifying.
groaning.
Yes. It is mixed with some sort of groaning, and it seems to be a little bit closer than the first time you had seen it. Sorry, what were you trying to say, Saros?
Oh, I just wanted to know if it sounds familiar.
Give me a history
It's
check
giving-
or a nature check.
Give me PTSD.
It does sound familiar. You do know it, and you're fairly certain it's from somewhere in the Underdark. However, at this current moment, you cannot for the life of you recall what it is.
Can I tell if this is like an entrance to the Underdark that is used by people? Or I guess if it's just an entrance at all.
Ooh, you'd have to give me a survival check. Unfortunately, you're not able to tell.
Okay.
It seems like it's commonly used for animals, you think. However, it's difficult to tell if people have been through here regularly or not. And you guys would be closer to like here. You wouldn't be that far away from Grimsby. Yeah. It is, however, concerning. But what you decide
You know,
to do is up to you.
I can't say I'm a fan of whatever that sound is, and if we're going to be staying here for, well, I assume overnight, we probably should at least go, I don't know, check it out maybe.
It sounds familiar, but I can't place my finger on it.
If you're saying that, I'm not too sure I like that. You know, I'm going to be honest.
But could it be the beast that's causing the storm? Ugh.
Why would it be in this cave?
If it was causing the storm and it was in here, I'm sure the cave would be a lot more colder and more like it is outside.
I know it sounds very unsettling.
Well, do we want to check it out?
Maybe
Like, can.
don't light anything. Maybe some of us with dark vision can just check it out.
Well, I mean, if you want to, by all means, I can stay back and be at the ready.
I can go with someone else.
Yeah, I can go too if you want.
I'd prefer not to, so I'll still stay back with Syraxis, but I'll come running if you guys need me.
Oh, if there's something there, we'll come running to you.
Yeah,
Hey, I
we'll
mean-
bring it over.
Who knows? Maybe it won't come out this far. Maybe it doesn't like the surface and doesn't actually want to follow us out here. In which case, we can all coexist in peace.
When have we ever been that lucky?
I never said we would be. I'm just, you know. I am merely thinking aloud.
You're going to jinx us like that.
I don't know what that means. I pull out my sword.
Eclipse, you said you were coming with?
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. As you guys are kind of delving deeper into the cave, I'm guessing you're trying to be quiet.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Give me a stealth check.
Oh my goodness.
I will leave Autumn with the other guys. Just
Okay, that's fair.
I'm curious, Jake. How has Autumn and the dog been getting along?
That's a good question. Roll me a D100 for Autumn and roll me a D100 for Reggie. 42. And then one for Reginald.
Not bad.
Or the dog.
Oh. Ooh.
Autumn does not seem to give a shit about the existence of the dog. Just like genuinely, like, I didn't even know that guy was there kind of thing.
yeah, that sounds about right.
The dog fucking hates Autumn. Like, with a
That makes a lot of
passion.
sense too.
Like, genuinely with so much passion, every time it gets an opportunity, like every time it sees Autumn in his point of view, like in his eyes, he just starts growling. You just hear this like deep rumble coming continuously from this dog every time like it can see Autumn. And Autumn genuinely just does not seem to even notice that it exists.
Autumn could easily kill this dog if she wanted.
Yeah, probably.
Alrighty then.
But yeah. As you guys kind of get a little bit deeper into the actual cave itself, Saros, Eclipse, and Darcy, I believe, are the three that are going forth. Is there anybody else that's going as well? Or is it just those three?
I'll stay back.
I'll take that as just those three are going. And as those three kind of approach a little bit deeper into the actual cave itself, you begin to see, and actually you would smell it first. You smell what can only be described as rotting meat. And soon enough, you see the reason why. As a series of corpses kind of pop up into your vision. If I remember correctly, all three of you have dark vision, correct?
Yeah.
I got goggles.
Yes, perfect. And as you guys are kind of like looking and inspecting these corpses, you very much realize that they are drow corpses. It seems that from the very best that you can tell, Saros, this was a raiding party. This was like, this would be a scouting party, actually. You can tell that they were very, very likely trying to come up to the surface to raid some sort of settlement, or kind of like go around and just generally be nuisances or not the greatest. But at this current moment, you realize that they got fucked over by something. And you can see now that there are these things that are kind of like moving between the corpses or like standing still. And you had thought that they were like statues initially, but you realize now that they are moving. They look like just people at initial glance, but with your dark vision kind of slowly adjusting, you realize that they're not. There's something horrifically wrong with them. At first you think they're zombies, but their movements are like not jerky. They don't look like they've been reanimated from the dead. At least you don't think so. And instead, their entire head has been replaced by what appears to be a fungus. Or some sort of mushroom. I'm literally just describing walkers from the,
Yeah.
yeah.
The clickers, yeah.
And cordyceps.
Yep. And at this current moment, you guys are close enough that there seems to be some sort of spore cloud around, which you guys didn't notice until you got, unfortunately, too close. I need all three of you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, how close is too close?
60 feet is too close.
would I have been able to see this from 120 feet away?
Oh, you would have been. The other two would not have been.
So could I have
I'm
told him not to
presuming
go any
Saros gonna
further?
stop us.
Then you know what? Yeah, actually, give me a perception check, Saros, just to see if you manage.
Oh,
Oh
Well,
no.
Unfortunately, you spot it right as all three of you enter the 60-foot radius. So I need that con save. This con save,
Ooh.
this first con save is specifically to resist coughing. Okay. Darcy, Eclipse, the two of you, as soon as you enter this kind of bubble, you realize, oh, there's something in the air. Oh, that's not good. And you two back up. But you see Saros kind of like wander in a little bit deeper, take a little bit of a breath, and realize, Saros is going to start coughing. Darcy,
Do we have a
and
chance
Eclipse,
to try and cover his mouth before he coughs?
give me a dexterity check, both of you, if you want to try and do that.
Yeah, sure.
Just a straight dexterity check?
Oh,
Yep, just a flat dexterity. Okay. You know what? I will say that you managed to get to him fast enough that you managed to cover his mouth. Like Darcy, initially, you managed to just grab him by the mouth and just like kind of hold the nose for a little bit, and it passes, but it fucking burns Saros. Now we need another Constitution saving throw. This is specifically against the spores.
boy.
This is the one I'm gonna
Oh.
fucking fail.
This is the not so good one.
I keep
Yeah.
rolling 24s!
You know, in hindsight, knowing this, it would have been really efficient to have Syraxis go in because he would have been immune to this.
Yeah.
It's unlucky.
Unfortunately, almost immediately, Saros and Eclipse, the two of you begin like feeling like you need to throw up. Darcy, you're actually fine.
I'm gonna start just dragging the two of them back if they're starting to look sick.
Yeah. And you do, and you can see that the both of them are like grabbing their chest, grabbing like their mouths, and by the time you manage to get back to the group, thankfully they're far enough away that they seem to have not been able to hear you. However, if you are loud, they probably will hear you. They're approximately like 250 feet away from where you guys currently are situated, just inside of the cave. You can definitely see that this is probably not the best type of situation to be in at this moment. And as soon as the two of you kind of like lay down near the campsite, the two of you begin fucking hacking your lungs out. And like any food, anything that you would have kept down is just getting thrown up and out.
We're going to need watches tonight. There's mushroom zombies down the hallway.
Both of you are now considered diseased. In
And-
24 hours, I will need you to give me another Constitution saving throw.
And the both of them are sick.
can I tell what this
That-
is now?
Yes, you know precisely what this is. This is an infectious mushroom strain that is parasitic, that feeds specifically off of the blood of living beings.
Fun.
They will do anything and everything to spread their spores, which are incredibly contagious. Like, they have wiped out entire cities within days because one person was a little bit uncareful and brought a little bit of spores into the town with them.
Okay. Well, before we end, I'm gonna tell people that as best as I can and like drag Eclipse as far away as I can from the rest of the group.
Yeah.
But
If you
not
tell me that, can I just like stay a little bit outside of the cave instead? Being, extremely used to cold weathers.
Yeah, you could. Are you trying to do that as a way of trying to fight the disease?
More just as a way of making sure other people don't get infected. If someone tells me.
So
If it's got a benefit of fighting it, great. If it doesn't, I'm just doing it so fuck.
Tuberculosis.
yeah, honestly, you weren't entirely sure, but you do stay out of the actual interior of the actual the cave, at least for a little bit, until you realize your entire body is shaking and cold to the point where you have never been this cold before. This is unnaturally cold even for you, and it's the same for you, Saros. This is the coldest you have ever felt in the entirety of your life. It's kind of awful. And that is where we'll end today's session. We will pick up next time
I
in
mean,
case something does happen within the cave or not.
Oh, I did this all to myself.
You really did. Granted,
maybe, I
Jake's the
guess
one that
maybe-
decided to just throw fucking clickers at us.
Yeah.
I do have
You've
stat,
done this, Emily.
I
You've
do
done
have
this to
stat
me.
blocks for them.
Literally one of the most infectious fucking diseases in media. These fucking
Yeah.
cordyceps.
Heard the clicker noise, and I'm like, Zane would not want to go near that.
How's it?
I never played Last of Us, so I
Nice.
didn't recognize that it was just a straight up clicker.
I have loads of different sound effects saved and ready.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because not only would I be immune to that, but I could also, in theory, remove it if I had lay on hand
If you
points.
had your lay on hands, yeah.
Yep, I could
Ooh.
just
Or
clear it
or
all.
Saros had
Oof.
any second level spell slots left. Lesser Restoration might do something.
Wait, I can do. Wait, I think I have something that. Hold on, I have to find it.
Oh,
Keep talking. I have to read.
because I haven't got anything. I don't even have any second level spell slots, and I don't think a bard can get Lesser Restoration anyways.
I got nothing. I'm a monk. I don't get shit until like level fucking 11 or 17.
Yeah, you're not
Level up,
immune to
like, right
disease
now.
until like way fucking later.
What is it? Let me see. 10. Level 10 is when I'm fucking immune to disease and poison. So I've got quite a bit of time left until then.
Soon.
Yeah, actually, I can't get a spell slot back, but I don't know if I have the right spells. Actually, I guess I could just.
You could change
You
them.
could
Yeah, you
change
could change
them,
them
yeah.
on a short rest.
Okay, let me see.
Hey.
What do I want? Which is the spell? Hmm.
The problem is it's
unfortunately,
proficiency bonus.
you can only do a first level spell slot. Because I
Oh, yeah.
believe your current proficiency bonus is still 2.
It's just 2.
Oh yeah, it
Do I
is.
have anything?
All I can do is detect it.
Oh, you don't have to detect it, my friend. You know. You know.
Is there anything? Is there anything like that would work as an antifungal remedy for something that you've inhaled?
There is. And the only person that would technically know that is, are you guys proficient in nature? I can't remember.
Oh,
Anybody
A couple
proficient
of
in
are.
specifically nature?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's
I
give
am.
me a nature check. Okay. Ooh, unfortunately, nothing seems to click.
Like guidance.
Wait, could I roll? Isn't
Yeah, you can guidance yourself, and you could. Sorry, what was that for you, Celesta?
I think me and Surya are also proficient in nature.
Yeah.
No,
you guys
I'm not. I'm
well,
not.
you can roll then if you're
not?
proficient in nature.
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
I thought we were buddies with nature.
I thought I was too.
I guess we're just
It's just a
I don't
smart
care about the
guy.
trees.
yeah.
Yeah, he's He's just a smart boy.
Oh, hold on
Got
now.
some
Wait a
smarts.
minute.
Oh. Yeah, Saros, even with a 15, you think that diseases are very difficult to treat specifically. It requires very specific targeted magic that would be able to remove it. At this current moment of which you know you could eventually prepare, but you just don't have a slot for it at this moment. Celesto. I would say that you are aware of a herb that is capable of not necessarily like fully treating it, but at the very least assisting in your body fighting against it. And it is typically found in woodlands. Actually, if you rolled a 26, I could just tell you what it is. Give me a moment to find it.
Also, Jake, I'm a little silly because I just now realized this is a thing I can do.
What's up?
But we are using the Tasha's like extended class features.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I'm an idiot. I guess I
Can't
never
you
read this.
Switch out your fighting style or something?
Well, yeah, there's that. I'll probably never swap it because the
That's only
plus
at
one
level-
AC is
that's only at,
based.
like, that's only at,
Yeah,
like, level.
Oh yeah.
but no, it's this thing because I just now realized that I also have a harness divine power.
Oh.
And I can just get myself a one additional smite slot back every week. So
Nice.
that's nice. I guess I'll mark that because I totally would have done that.
You would know that specifically the black bell flower could potentially assist in this. While typically it's used against poisons, in this case, this could technically be treated as a poison. Because you are poisoned, and that's poisoned is causing the disease. I think you guys have access to the Black Bell entry. It should be under Flora Forest Beneficial.
7.
It is a rare flower, yes.
The only thing I can think of
10?
myself being able to like try and do, would it be possible for me to imbue my own magic into Saros so that they like how I would use my sorcery points to get back a spell slot?
Unfortunately, no. Because you using sorcery points is all innate, like it's within your own body. Trying to amplify that and change that into someone else's body is one, incredibly difficult, and two, if you wanted to do it, you'd have to one, get their consent, two, like even with their consent and all of that like forthgoing, it would be nearly impossible for you to properly pinpoint at which point you're supposed to kind of cause this magic to flow without potentially permanently damaging them.
Yeah, no.
Jake,
Mm-hmm.
would a say humanoid, such as in this case Tharos, be considered, and not necessarily to me, I'm sure, but to like I don't know, a wild animal or beast, would Tharos be considered? Oh, I don't know, food and water.
No.
Okay, never mind. I can't purify food and drink in them.
If
Maybe
we
if
had
you,
some
like,
way of
always
like
die first.
resurrection, I would say a corpse might qualify, but
Yeah, a corpse could qualify. However, they are not an object.
I can wild shape into a pig.
I don't know if you want to kill that pig, because
Is it food?
And that's all I could do. Again, I can't get back me lay on hands, so you're kind of SOL on that one.
Yep.
But you know what?
Can you wild shape into something that the spores might not like function well in?
What's something immune to disease? That's an animal.
A
Not a
possum?
lot.
Aren't possums like super immune to a bunch of stuff?
I think it's less that they're immune and more like they're just carriers and they don't get affected by it.
So what it is like, for example, like the thing that everybody assumes that possums have. Everybody assumes that possums carry rabies.
That's
They
not
very
necessarily
rarely
true.
do.
Yeah.
They very rarely do. Because they have a lower body temperature than disease simply can't survive at that temperature. But this fungus fucking subsists off of blood.
Yep.
That's rough, buddy. The best I can give you at this point is fire breath. If you think that might kill it.
If we had water, I would say turn into a fish, but you can't turn into anything with a swim speed yet.
Are you gonna do that down into their lungs? Because that's kind of fucked up, man.
It's only 2d6 or something. He'll be fine.
Into the lungs?
Yeah, you know, he'll walk off.
I just thought of something. What would like a pipeweed in the lungs do to this stuff?
It makes it grow stronger.
Nothing.
It evolves.
You could
Also,
try it.
I can wild
My-
shape with a swim speed.
Oh,
There's no
Big
fly
McClung.
Oh
speed.
yeah, it's level 4 technically. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I forget. I always think that we're level 3, but no, we are in fact level 4.
You are in fact level 4. This is true.
And
It
it's
is-
blood, right? Like everything has blood
Well,
Everything has blood.
that I can wild shape into.
You could do things that don't have blood.
do
Mhm.
insects have blood? I don't know.
Insects technically do not have blood.
Anyway, there you go.
turn to a spider.
However, I will tell you right now that cordyceps originated in insects.
This is true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But cordyceps
Never mind,
also don't
we-
feed off of blood.
This is
Okay.
also true. They don't typically feed off of blood.
Hmm.
So I'll let you make that decision, and we'll deal with the consequences when we get to it.
Okay.
The one time that my paladin immunity to disease thing would
And I
have
will say,
kicked
they are
in.
an insect, not arachnid.
The only time, in fact, that I think I would have ever seen that feature be used.
Oh, don't you worry, my friend. You'll see it at least 3 more times this campaign.
Oh, I
Yippee!
know. Turn into a
I'll be
horseshoe
immune
What?
while all my party are
Oh,
dying
horseshoe
from illness. I'll be fine.
You should go in there, slay them, use your fire breath, kill everything, and then just come back.
What's the deal with horseshoe crab blood?
So horseshoe crab, like horseshoe crab blood is like a contributing ingredient to like testing the safety of vaccines.
Yeah. So essentially what it is that horseshoe crabs, they haven't evolved in literally millions of years because they are essentially peak evolution. They cannot get cancer. They cannot die of old age, I'm pretty sure. And there's like a bunch of other shit that they're literally just fucking straight up immune to.
Like the joke is that if they were like any bigger, they would basically be like the dominant apex predator on planet Earth, but they're just so fucking small that
I love horseshoe crabs. They're fantastic little
they're
creatures.
they're basically just resilient little bastards and nothing else. Like if they were
Yeah.
any bigger or any stronger, they would this planet would be theirs.
They're the basis for the fossil Pokemon Kabuto, and I love him.
Mm-hmm. But the issue is, you would have never seen a horseshoe crab. They're very specific, I'm pretty sure, habitats. And
They come up on beaches.
yeah, but
I mean,
Star-
has Saurus been to the
Staros
beach?
Staros is, well, yes, definitely, because Ardalon is near beaches. But Saros is specifically from the Underdark, and he's not been on the surface for that long. So I'm gonna go with a probably has not seen a horseshoe crab.
Probably not. It's still funny. It's an idea. It probably wouldn't work anyway.
Okay, you know what? If worst comes to worst, you use that summon steed, summon a giant horseshoe crab, and then I'll have seen a horseshoe crab, and then I can wild shape into it.
Only downside of that, you'll have to wait a week for me to do that.
You better start.
Because
He
I mean I
slots.
could.
Or
Well, no,
sorry,
I could technically
Scroll.
cast it.
Yeah, it's a scroll.
Like-
yeah.
Yeah, I could technically cast it, but because it's a higher level than what I'm capable of casting, there would be a chance for failure.
Yes.
I think it would roll off my charisma, so it wouldn't be like awful. And I want to say the DC would be 12, but that's still a coin flip of like there's a 50-50 chance that I
Straight up fail.
don't pass and I lose the scroll. And I can't use it at all, so it's like
Over a meme, really.
yeah, over what is effectively a meme that more than likely will not work. Though I mean, I don't
You
know,
never
it
know.
would be funny, but
It would be pretty funny.
it's still a coin flip effectively. So you know, like if I
Yeah,
was
another
one
idea.
level higher, I could totally do it. But alas,
But yeah.
All right, I have another idea. Okay, we go to this beachside town towards the south. Okay, and we get
What's
a
the sound?
mysterious healing potion. Okay, and it has a chance to turn us into a clam or a horseshoe crab.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh my god, you're
I
talking
was
about.
like,
Oh my god.
I was a clam once.
Oh, you're talking about the one in Runeson.
I had a friend who turned into a clam. He was a very angry clam.
On all levels except for physical, I am clam. Closes.
Close his mouth. Open spell. Okay, but yeah.
Somehow launches itself away with water pressure. Clam.
On a question, is Andrew still here? Where did he go? Oh,
Yeah, I'm here. What?
He's still in the call.
would Eclipse have tried to stay outside, or would you have come in?
You breathe outside.
It was
Suppose it-
fucking freezing, and your body temperature seemed to have been dropping even further with the disease progressing. But would he have stayed outside?
Where's Saros at?
Saros is inside. I'm pretty sure Saros is by
Is he
fire.
just deeper in the cave,
Or-
or?
Yeah, where's
Yes.
Saros? Yeah, deeper in the cave then.
Yeah, I suppose if staying outside has made me worse, then yeah, I'll go back inside.
You go back inside and you kind of camp out with
Admittedly,
Saros.
going outside would slow your body's circulation, which would slowly starve the fungus if it consumes blood.
And that is where we'll end this session. We can discuss
I'm
this
not
further
smart enough.
next week.
I'm not smart enough to determine that.
Neither is Darcy.
But
I
I
do have a
am.
decently high medicine.
Hey, I mean, if you wanted to, you could try and make a medicine check on yourself.
Yeah? Are
Sure.
you gonna let me do that right now?
Yeah, let's do it now.
Fuck it.
Anybody else who wants to do one as well could technically, if they wanted to inspect them. But I will tell you right now that if you try and do one on Eclipse and Saros, there is a chance you might get infected because you would have to get close to them.
I'll
I'm
do
good.
it.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
you're immune.
Yeah, Saraxis, you could. Absolutely. Yeah, it would be a medicine check specifically. If you wanted to, Saros, you can do one on yourself as well.
And I
Oh,
guidance
Saraxis.
myself.
It's cancer.
Yeah,
Pretty
You
bad
guys-
rule.
you guys do watch Saraxis walk over. He glances at the two of them. I mean,
Mhm.
Saraxis
They're dying.
You're pretty sure that they're dying. Like dying. Like this is
Saros,
dying.
I already know the answer to this. Eclipse, in the chance, well, not in the chance, but when you inevitably pass from this unfortunate disease, where should we send your remains? Assuming that we don't have to burn your body.
Thanks for the uplifting words, buddy.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
it seems bad.
Dying.
Just I don't know, scatter my ashes throughout the forest.
Alongside the spores.
Oh, wait, was it?
No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. On a medicine check with both of yourself, Eclipse, you are genuinely not sure how to fuck with this. Like, you don't know how to deal with this at this moment. You can only let yourself rest and let your body deal with it to the best of your abilities, and that is all that you can think of at this moment. It is essentially the same Saros, but you have heard of people fighting this before. It is incredibly difficult to maintain, and there have been people's spirits that have been broken before their bodies have. But a cold shock to the system could potentially allow you to fight against this incredibly effectively, essentially getting rid of it in one go.
I will say, even though Thraxis said that primarily to Eclipse, Saros have probably noticed that like after a moment he's looking at Saros like this. Just gives him a hug. Like sniffles.
Oh. Sad dragon man.
He's genuinely sad.
Yeah.
Saros, you would know that.
Yeah, I would have run outside with Eclipse first.
Okay.
We need to get to the Lake of Greens.
I will
Oh
say
boy.
that there are puddles nearby. You do see one that is lightly frozen over.
How bad this shot gotta be?
Gotta be a bad shock.
Cool, I take off my fucking clothes.
Oh,
Let's go.
okay. The rest of you see
Y'all
an
ever
Eclipse
heard
in
of
his
a polar
undies.
bear swim?
Yeah, I mean, if it's gotta be a cold shock, fuck it. Right?
Want me to hit you with an ice knife?
No, I would prefer not.
Ray of Frost if you want a lighter version.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I'm literally just gonna try to break the fucking ice, because I can punch pretty well.
It is like a thin layer of ice. It's not very thick.
Yeah, and
Like,
I've got fire fists.
Yeah, you
so...
can literally just jump through it if you wanted to.
Oh, sick! Fuck yeah, that's all I do. That's what I do. I fucking do that. I'm like one of. I don't know if anyone's ever seen these videos of the Russian people that just like fucking swim in frozen lakes. That's the clips right now. I just fucking dive right in, not dive, but feet first.
Yeah, Saros, you drag him to the pond, and before you can even say or do anything, his clothes are off, and he's jumped in, and you're like, oh, okay.
I'm assuming you told him like, hey, there's got to be a shock or something. He's like, all right, fuck it, let's go.
I mean, do you do the same?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Both of you give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
Fuck it,
This is specifically for the disease.
Oh, God.
Oh, let's go.
Hey! Now I need another one for the cold. This is a disadvantage.
Is this normal for me?
For you, I'll say, sure, it's normal.
Let's go. Oh, no.
Yeah, both of you take cold damage.
That's fine.
And still disease.
Both of you take 8 points of cold damage, reduced to half for you, Saros.
This is fine.
But Eclipse, as soon as you climb out, you feel great. You don't feel like amazing, but the cold that was kind of shocking your entire body and your like entire physical form is for the most part gone. It's replaced by the actual cold of the fucking water being like literally causing you to freeze, which at this point you basically run back in, sit beside the fire, and you're like, for the most part, you warm up, but it takes a while. But you're okay. Unfortunately,
Darcy gives you a cup of tea.
Saros, You feel significantly worse.
Suffering. My life is suffering.
Yeah. But we'll pick this up next time. So I've been trying to end this for like 2.
I know.
I've been trying to end it for so long, and I've just been making it worse and worse.
That's
Putting
okay.
myself in worse and
Next
worse conditions.
Next time, maybe there's different conditions you guys can come back to, or things that you have thought of that you didn't this time. Thank you.
Well, we can find the
being
we
here.
can find what was it, the black bellflower?
Yes.
Yeah, we can look for that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for
So
being here.
I'm
I hope you
good.
enjoyed the session. Yes, you are no longer diseased. You are cold, but you're fine for the most part.
Cool.
Like you basically coughed a few times coming out of the water, and when you
Hey.
looked at the cough that you kind of like
Hey,
deposited
Jake.
out.
Real quick question.
What's up?
If I told you that I have blind sight within 10 feet of me, can this whole thing have been avoided?
No, it wouldn't have mattered.
Would blind sight trigger from the pollen at all?
No.
Okay, cool. Just for curious.
I mean, it's not like blind sight triggers off of the air.
I was just curious. Well, pollen is different than air.
Yeah, it is different, but it is like thin enough and kind of like
Okay. I was
Easily
just curious.
misconstrued as dust.
yeah, exactly. It is
You need like
unfortunately-
Daredevil levels of like senses to see that shit.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Unfortunately, no. I'm sorry. But yeah, we'll come back next time to see how Sorrow solves his issues. As currently, it did not seem to get solved with the cold
Yeah,
plunge.
for